There comes a moment in every soul's journey when the noise of the world fades just long enough for the voice of truth to whisper through. Maybe it comes through a question you can't shake, a dream that won't let go, or a quiet nudge in your spirit that whispers, "There's more to you than what you've been told." You may not have always been able to name it, but deep within you, you've always felt it, this undeniable sense that you are different, destined for something greater. But for as long as you've sensed it, others have tried to dim that light, to bury your brilliance, to make you doubt the very essence of your soul. Why? Because they saw your light before you did, and they feared what might happen if you saw it too. This is not just a message, it's a spiritual awakening, a revelation hidden for generations, a divine call written into your DNA, placed there by the one who created you before the foundations of the world. And now, it's time you remembered who you really are. From the very first breath you drew, something about your presence was different. You may not remember it clearly, but the atmosphere around you shifted, almost as if the heavens themselves paused to mark your arrival. You were born not just into a family or a culture, but into a divine timeline where your life would serve a higher purpose. While others were learning to crawl and play, you may have felt an unusual stillness in certain moments, an inner awareness that made you observe more deeply than a child your age should. These weren't simply personality quirks or chance experiences. They were early echoes of something sacred woven into your spirit. Long before you could articulate your thoughts, you sensed something invisible watching over you, calling you forward, whispering truths that only your heart could hear. You didn't choose this awareness. It was chosen for you. Every unexplainable pull toward silence, every spark of wonder in your soul when gazing at the stars, every time you felt peace in solitude. Those were moments when eternity brushed against time, leaving fingerprints on your soul. The world may have overlooked these signs, but heaven never did. While others might have thought you shy or overly reflective, the truth is that you were already listening to a frequency few could hear. It was the divine rhythm of destiny, already pulsing inside you. The Bible reminds us in Ephesians 1:4 that you were chosen before the foundation of the world, meaning your calling predates even creation itself. You are not random. You are a living thread in the tapestry of God's eternal design. And that strange sense of being different, that quiet inner knowing that never quite left you, it's the spiritual inheritance of someone marked for more. The signs were always there, gently guiding you, nudging you toward the path you were created to walk. You don't need to fabricate your worth or prove your calling. It's been with you since the beginning, silently maturing inside your soul. Now is the time to remember what the world has tried to make you forget. You were set apart from the start. There are people who walk through life fitting perfectly into the mold set before them, blending in effortlessly with the rhythm of the world. But that was never your story. From a young age, you sensed that your path diverged from the expected. While others laughed carelessly, chasing trends and blending into social circles, you often found yourself on the outside, not because you couldn't belong, but because you saw life through a deeper lens. The questions that stirred in your soul were not the kind most children asked. Why am I here? What does all of this mean? These weren't fleeting curiosities. They were signs of something ancient waking up within you. You tried to explain how you felt, but often met blank stares or uncomfortable silence. And so, you learned to carry the weight of your questions quietly. But that internal depth was not a mistake. It was your preparation. The world labeled you as different, but God had labeled you as destined. Your mind, your heart, your sensitivity, it was all crafted by design. Like the young prophet Samuel, who heard God's voice before he even understood who was speaking, you too were being called long before anyone around you could see it. It wasn't that you were lost. It was that the world was not equipped to recognize what you carried. When others chased popularity, your spirit yearned for purpose. When people ignored the pain of others, you felt it like your own. You may have felt isolated, but that very isolation was sacred ground, where God was forming your identity, setting you apart for a mission only you could fulfill. Often, those chosen to lead are the ones who are misunderstood the most. Think of Moses, Esther, or Joseph. Their early lives were filled with contradiction, rejection, and delay, but it all served to shape the strength required for their divine purpose. Your struggles have not been signs of weakness. They've been the chiseling tools of heaven, carving purpose into the very core of your being. You were never made to follow the crowd. You were born to carry light into places that have forgotten how to see. And even if the world still doesn't fully understand you, heaven always has. There's a certain kind of pain that doesn't leave bruises on the skin, but lingers deep in the soul, the pain of rejection. And if you've known it, not just once, but as a pattern throughout your life, it's likely because your spirit carries something that made others uncomfortable. Not everyone can handle the weight of someone who was born to shift atmospheres. People sensed something different in you, something they couldn't quite explain, so they kept their distance, misunderstood you, or even pushed you away. You may have spent years asking what was wrong with you, trying to fix yourself to be more acceptable, to make others feel more at ease. But what you didn't realize then was that their rejection wasn't a reflection of your inadequacy. It was confirmation of your calling. The most powerful souls in history, those destined to bring change, almost always began as outsiders. Look at Joseph, betrayed by his brothers not because he was weak, but because of the greatness they could see forming in him. Or consider Jesus himself, rejected by the very people he came to save. Their stories remind us that rejection doesn't disqualify you. It often reveals you. In truth, being set apart will always come with the cost of not fitting in. The world rarely recognizes the sacred when it's wrapped in human flesh. But heaven does. The very places where you were overlooked, abandoned, or underestimated were often the places God used to refine you. Every no was training. Every closed door was redirection. Every season of loneliness was a classroom in which God taught you to lean not on the approval of man, but on the presence of the one who called you. In Jeremiah 1:5, God says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." That is not poetry. It is your reality. You were never meant to be ordinary. You carry a sacred fire within you by nature, cannot be confined. So don't curse the rejection. It was part of your making. You weren't cast aside. You were carved out for something far greater than they could see. While others brush past people without noticing the weight in their eyes or the tremble in their voice, you couldn't help but feel it. Deeply, fully, sometimes overwhelmingly. Even as a child, you may have sensed when someone was hurting, even when they smiled. You could walk into a room and instantly pick up on unspoken emotions, subtle energies, and buried pain. And maybe for much of your life, you thought something was wrong with you, that you were too sensitive, too emotional, too much. But what if that sensitivity wasn't a flaw, but a divine imprint, a signature of the Creator, woven into your spirit with intention? What if your ability to feel wasn't a burden, but a sacred gift designed to reflect the heart of God? People like you, those with tender spirits and deep compassion, are often the first to feel the brokenness of the world and the last to give up on it. That is no accident. It's because God trusted you with a heart like His. Scripture tells us in Galatians 6:2, "Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ." And that's what you've done, again and again, without needing recognition, without seeking reward. You were the one people turned to in silence, because your presence spoke safety. But what others often failed to realize is how much it cost you to carry what wasn't yours. You've poured out comfort, understanding, love, and sometimes been left empty in return. Still, you gave, because something inside you wouldn't let you walk away. That's not weakness, that's spiritual strength clothed in quiet humility. You weren't created to harden your heart. You were created to heal with it. Your empathy is not just emotional, it's prophetic. You see what others overlook. You feel what others silence. And that makes you a vessel of light in a darkened world. So if you've ever wondered why you carry the burdens you do, or why your heart breaks for people you barely know, it's because heaven gave you a heart big enough to hold more than your own pain. And in a world desperate for love, that kind of heart is holy. There are dreams that vanish the moment we open our eyes, soft fragments of imagination that drift away like morning mist. But then, there are the others, the ones that feel more real than waking life. If you've ever awakened with your heart racing, clutching a message you couldn't quite explain, or if a dream has followed you for days, tugging at your spirit as if it carried a secret meant only for you, then you've touched something sacred. For those who are chosen, dreams are often more than sleep. They are encounters, divine whispers in the quiet hours of the night. You may have dismissed them, or kept them to yourself for fear of being misunderstood, but you've always known, these dreams are different. You've seen glimpses of the future, warnings, callings, even faces you've never met in places you've never been. And it wasn't just imagination. It was the spiritual realm speaking into your life. Throughout Scripture, God uses dreams to guide and reveal, to protect and prepare. Joseph, the son of Jacob, saw visions of his future long before it came to pass. Though he was mocked, sold, and imprisoned, those very dreams became the blueprint for his divine purpose. And just like him, your dreams may have been misunderstood, but they were never meaningless. You see, chosen ones often have a thinner veil between the physical and the spiritual. Your sleep doesn't disconnect you. It connects you to something higher. When the world grows quiet, heaven speaks. The Bible reminds us in Joel 2:28, "Your sons and daughters will prophesy, your old men will dream dreams, your young men will see visions." God has always used dreams to deliver divine instruction, and He still does. The question is, are you listening? Perhaps you've had dreams that felt too powerful to ignore, too alive to forget. Maybe you've even seen events unfold that you once only dreamed about. That's calling. It's preparation for a destiny that stretches far beyond what your waking mind can comprehend. So the next time you close your eyes and feel yourself swept into something larger than life, don't brush it off. God may be speaking, preparing you, inviting you to remember what your soul already knows. Your dreams are more than visions. They are keys to your purpose. There have been times in your life when something invisible stepped in to protect or guide you. Moments you didn't fully notice at first. A delay that frustrated you at the time, but later spared you from danger. A closed door that protected you from a heartbreak you didn't see coming. A narrow escape, a sudden opportunity, a peace that surrounded you in the middle of chaos. These moments weren't luck. They weren't coincidence. They were proof that you've been shielded by a presence far greater than you realized. While you were busy questioning your worth or wondering if anyone truly saw you, heaven was already moving on your behalf. God's hand was there in the shadows, redirecting, rerouting, preserving. And not just once, but again and again. If you look closely, you'll see the pattern. Divine fingerprints all over your journey. You've walked through fire and somehow didn't burn. You've faced storms and came out with a strength that even surprised you. These aren't just survival stories. They're signs. You are being kept, not by your own strength, but by God's divine protection. The Bible promises in Psalm 34:7, "The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear Him, and He delivers them." You may not have seen the angels, but you felt the rescue. When everything could have gone wrong, somehow it didn't. When you didn't have the answers, provision still showed up. When you were at your lowest, you were carried. This isn't to say the journey has been easy, but even in your hardest battles, you were never truly alone. There's a reason you're still standing. There's a reason you've come through things that would have crushed others. It's because your life is tied to a purpose that has not yet been fulfilled. You are still breathing because there is still something heaven is calling you to do. That instinct you've had, that knowing deep down that you've been preserved for more. You're here by divine design, and every time the enemy tried to write your ending, God was already preparing a new beginning. So take heart. You are protected, not because you're lucky, but because you're chosen. And the one who calls you will never stop covering you. There's always been something inside you that resisted the pull to follow the crowd. Even when it would have been easier to blend in, to agree, to stay quiet, something in your spirit whispered, "This isn't your way." And maybe you tried to silence it at times, to go along just to keep the peace, but you couldn't, because you weren't made to echo the voices of others. You were born to carry a sound that is uniquely yours. From the very beginning, leadership has been in your bones, not in the form of control or titles, but in the quiet courage to walk a different road. Chosen ones are rarely the loudest in the room, but they carry a presence that shifts the atmosphere. And that's why you've often felt misunderstood. You weren't ignoring the rules. You were born to rewrite them. The world celebrates those who conform, who fit into systems, who maintain the status quo. But heaven celebrates the ones who rise, even when it costs them everything. Just look at Moses, called to speak when he felt unqualified, or Esther, who risked her life to stand for truth, or Paul, who was once rejected by both the world and the religious elite, yet became a vessel for divine transformation. Like them, you felt the pressure of two worlds, the one that tells you to stay silent, and the one that calls you to speak truth. But here's what you need to know. Your resistance to conformity isn't rebellion, it's revelation. You've been given eyes to see what others overlook, a heart to feel what others numb, and a voice to carry what others are afraid to say. And that is not a burden, it is a mantle. When you were born, heaven did not assign you to follow the herd. It marked you to lead in love, to break barriers, to be a bridge for others who are still trapped in fear. Leadership, in its truest form, is service. It's vision. It's courage wrapped in compassion. And that is exactly what lives inside you. So if you've ever wondered why you feel out of step with the world around you, it's because you weren't meant to march to its rhythm. You were designed to set a new one. From the time you were young, your mind seemed wired differently. While others accepted the world as it was, you couldn't help but ask why. Why do we exist? What is our purpose? Who is God, really? These weren't just random thoughts. They were quiet invitations from heaven, placed deep within you. Your curiosity has always been more than intellectual. It's been spiritual. It tugged at you when you stared at the stars, when you read stories of miracles, or when you sat in silence and felt there had to be more. There's always been a hunger in you to understand the bigger picture, to find the deeper meaning behind things others take for granted. And that hunger? It's not a flaw. It's a flame, a sign that God has called you to search for what's hidden from plain sight. Proverbs 25:2 says, "It is the glory of God to conceal a matter. To search out a matter is the glory of kings." In other words, God hides truth like treasure, and those who are drawn to seek it are walking in royal purpose. Your need to question, explore, and understand has always been a compass, pointing you toward your divine calling. Others might have misunderstood your searching nature. Some may have dismissed you as too intense or too philosophical. But you were never asking shallow questions. You were reaching for something eternal. Think of Solomon, who didn't ask God for wealth or power, but for wisdom, and because of that, he was given more than he could have imagined. What if your questions are preparing you for that same kind of divine outpouring? You see, curiosity like yours is not common. It's a sign. A sign that God is drawing you closer, revealing layer by layer the purpose he planted within you long ago. So don't silence your wonder. Don't dull your hunger for truth. It's through that very desire that God will continue to lead you, not just to answers, but to the deeper revelation of who you truly are in him. And now, the truth has found you, maybe for the first time, or maybe as a gentle reminder of what your spirit has always known. You were never forgotten. You were chosen. Every moment of pain, every question that wouldn't go away, every time you felt different or out of place, it was all part of the preparation for something greater. Your story is not one of accident, but of intention. You have been protected, preserved, and awakened for a purpose far beyond what you can yet imagine. The signs have been there all along, guiding you, shaping you, calling you closer to the truth of who you really are. This is just the beginning of your journey back to your divine identity. A journey not walked alone, but alongside others who are awakening too. If this message has stirred something deep inside you, if it brought peace, clarity, or the sense that you've finally been seen, then I want to thank you. Thank you for showing up today. Thank you for listening with your heart. If you feel called to walk this path with us, I warmly invite you to subscribe to this channel. Join a growing community of souls who, like you, are ready to rise into their calling. Your voice, your presence, your light, it matters here. And together, we'll continue to uncover the purpose, power, and promise that God has placed within each of us. Don't forget to like this video and share it with someone who may need this reminder today. You never know how your simple act of sharing could become the spark that ignites someone else's awakening. Until next time, stay grounded in truth, walk boldly in purpose, and may God's peace go with you always. In a world full of noise, distractions, and shallow interactions, a few rare individuals have forged a different path. These are the chosen ones, the ones who walk the road less traveled, the ones who have embraced solitude, not as a curse, but as their battlefield. While others remain lost in the chaos of their lives, the chosen ones rise, unshaken by the challenges that break most people. They carve new paths in the unknown, evolving into beings of power, clarity, and depth. But how do they do it? How do they survive the hardships that others can't even imagine enduring? It is in solitude where the chosen ones find their true strength. This isolation doesn't break them, it shapes them. It forces them to confront their deepest fears, to sharpen their minds, and to develop powers that separate them from the majority. And those powers are what make them unstoppable. If you've ever felt different, if you've ever been drawn away from the crowd, you know the silence, the feeling of being out of place, and yet, you also know that it is this very solitude that holds the key to your transformation. In this article, we will uncover the 5 supernatural powers that the chosen ones develop in solitude. Powers that make them rise above the 80% of people who remain stuck in the noise and distractions of life. These powers will not only make you unstoppable, they will also change the way you see the world and the way the world sees you. Now I invite you to hit that subscribe button and comment 777 below to join me on this journey of faith, healing, and transformation. Let's walk together. Power 1. The ironclad mind, unshaken in the face of pressure. In a world where chaos reigns and pressure mounts, the chosen ones remain unshaken, like mountains standing tall against the fiercest storms. When everything around them crumbles, they don't break. They don't panic. Instead, they thrive. While the world is designed to break the average person, through distractions, expectations, and emotional turmoil, the chosen stand firm, undeterred by the relentless forces around them. Their minds are unmovable, their will unbreakable. This unshakable mindset is not born of mere luck. It's forged in the fires of adversity. The chosen ones have faced hardships most would never imagine: betrayal, loneliness, abandonment, and despair. These trials have not been their undoing, but their shaping force. Like steel in a forge, the heat of their struggles has hardened them, giving them the strength to withstand whatever life throws their way. Each challenge they've faced has added layers to their resolve, solidifying their inner strength and resilience. While others crumble under pressure, overwhelmed by emotion and circumstance, the chosen remain standing, their hearts calm and their minds sharp. In moments of crisis, where the world spirals into chaos, the chosen ones do not react with rage, fear, or panic. They remain still, like the eye of a hurricane, calm amidst the storm. Others may lash out, make rash decisions, or allow their emotions to rule their actions, but the chosen are different. They step back and observe, They calculate their next move with precise intention, unaffected by the emotions that cloud others' judgment. Where others act impulsively, driven by the rush of adrenaline or the weight of their fears, the chosen calmly plan, making decisions with a clarity that others cannot fathom. Their ability to remain composed is often misunderstood. Many mistake their calm for coldness, assuming that the chosen feel nothing. But this is far from the truth. The reality is that the chosen have mastered their emotions. They don't suppress their feelings, they control them. They've learned how to sit with their emotions, process them, and channel that raw energy into something more powerful. Where others would allow their emotions to drive them to destruction, the chosen harness their emotional energy, refining it, turning it into strength and focus. It is in this mastery of self that the true power of the chosen lies. When most people crumble under the weight of a stressful situation, the chosen remain resolute. They are not immune to pain or distress, but they refuse to let those emotions govern their actions. Instead, they transform those feelings into something greater. The chosen can feel the sting of betrayal, the heaviness of sorrow, the intensity of anger, but they do not let these emotions control them. They take that energy, refine it, and use it to propel themselves forward. This is what makes them dangerous. While others react impulsively, the chosen move with purpose. While others explode, the chosen remain calm, calculating, and unbreakable. In heated moments, whether in arguments, conflicts, or high-stakes decisions, the chosen are the ones who remain grounded. They see through the noise, recognizing that the true battle lies not outside themselves, but within. They have already faced the greatest adversary, their own doubts, fears, and emotions. As a result, their minds are clear, their instincts sharpened, and their decisions deliberate. They are in full control, and in a world that thrives on chaos, this inner mastery gives them an edge that others simply cannot match. The greatest strength of the chosen lies not in their ability to avoid emotions, but in their ability to control them. They have learned to face the storm within, and have come out the other side with a mind stronger than steel. This is what makes them unshakable, unstoppable, and ultimately, undefeatable. While the rest of the world falters under the weight of their own emotional turmoil, the chosen walk calmly, resolutely, and purposefully, moving toward greatness with unwavering certainty. Power 2. The soul's X-ray, seeing through the masks of others. The chosen ones possess a rare gift, the ability to see through the masks that most people wear. In a world where nearly everyone hides behind a facade, pretending to be confident, happy, or at peace, the chosen see the truth that lies beneath the surface. They can hear the words people speak, but more importantly, they feel the weight of their silence. The chosen can look into someone's eyes and perceive the unspoken fears, insecurities, and desires that lurk beneath the surface. To them, the world is full of masks, but they possess the power to remove them, revealing the raw, unfiltered truth that others try desperately to hide. This ability is not something that is given lightly. It is earned through solitude. While the rest of the world fills their days with distractions and noise, the chosen sit in silence, learning to observe. They become masters of reading subtle cues, the slight hesitation in someone's voice, the tension in their posture, the flicker of doubt in their eyes. These small signals that most people miss become glaring indicators to the chosen. It's as though they possess X-ray vision, enabling them to peer past the carefully constructed facades that others present to the world and see the hidden truths beneath. What makes this ability so unsettling is that it strips people of their illusions. When the chosen look at someone, it's as if that person is laid bare, exposed for all their hidden motives, contradictions, and lies. People are uncomfortable when they realize they cannot hide their true selves from the chosen. They may smile, but the chosen can sense the resentment lurking behind that smile. They may speak confidently, but the chosen can detect the underlying insecurity. It is this ability to see through the veil of pretense that makes the chosen one so powerful and so feared. However, the chosen do not use their gift to manipulate or take advantage of others. They don't use their insights to control, they use them to understand. This power isn't about gaining an upper hand over others. It is about protecting themselves from deception and forming deep, authentic connections with the few who dare to be real. While most people live in a world of illusions, the chosen walk through life with eyes wide open, fully aware of the truths others are too afraid to acknowledge. They understand that to truly connect with others, you must first see them as they truly are, not as they present themselves. In a society where most people are actors, playing roles to protect themselves or fit in, the chosen ones see through the performance. They recognize the difference between appearance and reality, and this understanding sets them apart. They don't get fooled by charming words or polished images. Instead, they see the raw, unfiltered reality of the human experience. It is this ability to see the truth that makes them dangerous to those who rely on deception to navigate the world. The chosen are rare. Few people possess this level of clarity and understanding. But those who do are unstoppable, for they cannot be manipulated or controlled by the lies that bind most others. The power of the chosen is not just in their ability to see others clearly, it's in their capacity to navigate the world with authenticity. They recognize the masks people wear, but they are not fooled by them. Instead, they meet people where they are, seeing the truth behind the mask and connecting with others on a deeper level than most will ever experience. This is the power of the chosen, the ability to see beyond the surface, beyond the illusions, and to understand the real, raw truth that lies beneath. Power 3. The razor mind phenomenon, clarity and focus in the midst of chaos. In a world overwhelmed by noise, distractions, and constant chaos, the chosen ones have mastered the art of razor-sharp focus. While others are drowned in a sea of uncertainty, confusion, and hesitation, the chosen stand clear and resolute, their minds sharp as blades. They can cut through the noise, seeing the world with a clarity that most can only dream of. While the masses are pulled in 100 directions, the chosen remain focused, determined, and absolutely certain of their purpose. This remarkable ability to maintain hyper-focus does not come naturally. It is a skill honed over countless hours of solitude, introspection, and self-discipline. In a world where most people waste their time mindlessly scrolling through social media, engaging in shallow conversations, or filling their minds with trivial distractions, the chosen use their time differently. They embrace silence, allowing themselves to tune out the chaos around them. They learn to focus their minds, sharpening their clarity like a blade being honed to perfection. Where others are lost in the noise, the chosen see through it, pinpointing what truly matters and focusing all their energy on it. This laser-like focus is not a product of chance. It is the result of rigorous mental training. Through isolation, the chosen have learned to shut out the doubts, fears, and distractions that cloud the minds of others. They have spent countless hours reflecting on their goals, their motivations, and the path they must take. In doing so, they have developed the ability to cut through the mental fog that paralyzes others and see clearly what is important. This heightened clarity allows them to make decisions swiftly and with confidence, something most people cannot do in the face of confusion and pressure. While the world around them may be in chaos, the chosen remain calm and composed. They don't second-guess themselves. When others hesitate, caught in the swirl of uncertainty and indecision, the chosen move forward with purpose, making choices that others are too afraid to make. Their mind is no longer clouded by doubt or fear. They have trained themselves to trust their judgment completely. This ability to see clearly, to make decisions without hesitation, is what sets them apart from the rest of the world. And it is this clarity that makes them unstoppable. In a world where most people freeze when faced with pressure, the chosen step into the storm with unshakable certainty. They make decisions that seem reckless to others, but to them, it is the natural result of their unwavering focus and crystal-clear understanding of the situation. Where others get lost in the noise, the chosen move with precision, always one step ahead, always certain of their direction. This absolute clarity of thought is not just a gift. It is the culmination of their inner work, their dedication to mastering their mind and their purpose. And this power, this ability to cut through the chaos, is what makes the chosen ones truly unstoppable. Power 4. The echo of pain. Understanding the unspoken struggles of others. The chosen ones possess a rare and powerful gift, the ability to feel the unspoken pain of others. It's as if they can hear the silent cries of those around them, even when no words are spoken. While others may smile, speak politely, or hide behind masks of composure, the chosen see beyond these facades. They sense the sorrow behind a forced laugh, the insecurity hidden beneath a facade of confidence, and the desperation veiled by an outward display of control. It is not just that they see people. They feel them on a much deeper level. They can intuitively grasp the struggles that others are too afraid to show, understanding the emotional battles that remain buried beneath the surface. This ability is not something that comes easily. It is a gift forged through the chosen one's own encounters with pain. They have faced their own battles, walked through the darkest of valleys, and endured the harshest of trials. Loneliness, betrayal, heartbreak, and despair have been their companions. But instead of allowing these experiences to break them, the chosen have emerged stronger. Through their own suffering, they have developed an uncanny sensitivity to the pain of others. Just as they recognize the burn of their own scars, they can see and feel the hidden wounds in the eyes of others, even when those people are too afraid to acknowledge them. Most people, when confronted with pain, seek ways to avoid or bury it. They distract themselves with meaningless activities, deny their suffering, or build walls to keep others from seeing their vulnerabilities. But the chosen ones do not run from their pain. They face it head-on, allowing themselves to process their darkness and learn from it. This journey through their own suffering has sharpened their ability to empathize with others, giving them a rare gift, the ability to perceive the subtle signs of distress that others might miss. Far from being a weakness, this heightened sensitivity is a tremendous strength. The chosen have learned to listen to the unspoken words, to understand the energy that surrounds a person, and to connect with others in ways that most cannot. With this gift, they can offer something that few can: true understanding. They can comfort those in pain, provide a safe space for others to open up, and offer healing in ways that go beyond words. Their presence alone can be a balm for someone's soul, simply because they truly see and feel what others are going through. While others may feel uncomfortable with their ability to read the unspoken pain of those around them, the chosen embrace it. They do not use it to manipulate or judge. Instead, they use it to connect on a deeper, more meaningful level. They understand that every person carries a burden, and they have the wisdom to offer compassion without expectation. This is what makes the chosen truly powerful: their ability to step into another's shoes, to understand their unspoken struggles, and to offer comfort and healing in a world that often overlooks the silent battles people face. Power 5. The Time Alchemist. Turning solitude into mastery. Time is an unrelenting force. It moves forward without pause, indifferent to the struggles and distractions of those caught in its current. While most people let time slip away, consumed by distractions, fleeting pleasures, and shallow pursuits, the chosen ones see time as a tool, a force they can bend to their will. They are time alchemists, capable of transforming moments of solitude into opportunities for profound growth and transformation. Where others waste time, the chosen make it their ally, turning every second into an investment in their evolution. While most people dread the silence that accompanies solitude, seeing it as boredom or emptiness, the chosen see it as fertile ground for growth. They don't fill their time with the noise of the world. Instead, they embrace the silence, using it as a space to sharpen their minds, refine their skills, and deepen their understanding. For the chosen, every moment alone is a chance to improve, to master their thoughts, emotions, and actions. They know that time, once lost, can never be regained, and they refuse to squander it. Where others waste hours on trivial distractions, the chosen harness their time to build a stronger, wiser, and more focused version of themselves. In solitude, the chosen do not merely survive, they thrive. They understand that it is in these quiet moments, away from the chaos and noise of the world, that true transformation occurs. The isolation they experience is not something to be feared, but something to be cherished. It is in these moments of stillness that they confront their own limitations and break free from the constraints of the ordinary world. They embrace the silence, knowing that it is through solitude that they gain the clarity, strength, and insight needed to rise above the crowd. And when the chosen emerge from their time alone, they are unrecognizable to those around them. The time they've spent in solitude has refined them into something unstoppable. They are no longer bound by the distractions and limitations that hold most people back. They have mastered their thoughts, their emotions, and their actions, and now they move through life with power, precision, and purpose. They no longer follow the paths that others tread. They create their own path, guided by the wisdom they've gained from their time alone. The power of the time alchemist lies in the ability to see solitude not as a void, but as a space for growth and mastery. While others may fear the quiet, the chosen use it to elevate themselves. They know that time is the most valuable resource they possess, and they treat it with the respect it deserves. Through their ability to turn solitude into strength, they become masters of time itself, and in doing so, they become unstoppable forces, moving through life with an unwavering sense of purpose. The chosen are not ordinary. They are unshaken in the face of pressure, able to see the truth behind the masks of others, and move with unyielding clarity in a world full of noise. They feel the pain of others deeply and turn their solitude into a source of unstoppable strength. They are the masters of their time, and nothing can stand in their way. If you feel different, if you feel like you were never meant to blend in with the 80%, then you are one of the chosen. Now, it's time to unlock your true potential and use your solitude to transform yourself into the unstoppable force you were always meant to be. Imagine waking up one day to realize that everything you've ever endured, every hardship, every tear, every lonely moment, has been preparing you for this very moment. It's not just another day on the calendar, it's the day your life changes forever. A day that has been written in the stars, foretold by the ancient prophets, and woven into the very fabric of your being. That day is March 31st. This day is not just an ordinary date. It is a divine threshold, a cosmic event that will either propel you into your destiny or leave you trapped in the same cycles of doubt and uncertainty. The veil between heaven and earth is growing thinner, and the divine energies of the universe are stirring. Can you feel it? That restlessness deep within you, that unexplainable knowing that something monumental is about to unfold? The world has tried to silence you, doubt you, reject you, but March 31st is the day the world will see the truth. The day your enemies, those who mocked and abandoned you, will witness your supernatural elevation. When God's hand moves, nothing can stand in its way. If you are feeling this message in your spirit right now, let's subscribe and comment 777 to know this. You have been called for such a time as this. The journey of the chosen ones is rarely an easy one. In fact, it is often marked by struggles, rejection, and battles that may seem impossible to understand, even by those closest to you. If you have ever found yourself feeling alone, misunderstood, or as though the weight of the world is against you, you are not alone. Throughout history, the chosen ones have walked a path that the world often cannot comprehend. This path is not paved with comfort or ease, but with moments of hardship and isolation. From the time of Moses, who was raised in exile and called to lead a nation from slavery, to David, who was overlooked by his own family and forced to fight battles no one expected him to win, the stories of God's chosen vessels throughout the Bible have one common theme. The road to greatness is not an easy one, but within this journey of struggle lies divine purpose. The chosen ones have been called not in spite of their struggles, but because of them. Each trial, each setback, and each moment of rejection has been part of a greater divine plan. The pain, isolation, and loss that you may have experienced were never meant to break you. They were the very things that were shaping you, preparing you for the divine appointments that are about to unfold in your life. In the wilderness, where you may have felt abandoned or overlooked, God was quietly working in the background, molding you into the person you needed to become. The trials that seemed unbearable were actually the tools God was using to refine you, to strengthen your faith, and to prepare you for what was to come. The path of the chosen ones is often one of loneliness, like Moses, who spent years in exile before returning to lead the Israelites, or David, who was anointed as king but spent years in the wilderness fleeing from Saul. You too may have found yourself in seasons of loneliness and isolation. These seasons were not signs of abandonment, nor were they a reflection of your worth or value. They were simply the preparation God was using to get you ready for your appointed time. The Bible makes it clear that God's chosen ones are often called to a higher purpose, but this higher purpose comes at a cost. The path to greatness is never smooth, but it is always purposeful. The chosen ones are not those who are born into comfort or ease. Rather, they are those who have faced trials and have come out stronger on the other side. Think about Esther, who was not chosen by chance, but was divinely positioned for such a time as this. Esther's journey began in a season of exile and hardship, yet God orchestrated every detail of her life to position her for the pivotal moment when she would save her people from destruction. Esther's beauty and favor were not just a result of her appearance, they were the tools God used to position her in the palace, where she would have the opportunity to stand in the gap for her nation. Her calling was not an accident. She was prepared through trials, through moments of uncertainty, and through seasons of waiting. Just as Esther was placed for her purpose, you too have been positioned for such a time as this. Your life has not been a series of random events. It has been a divinely orchestrated journey, leading you to this very moment. If you look closely at your life, you will see that it is marked with moments of divine intervention, moments when you were guided toward people, places, and opportunities that you could never have anticipated. These are the divine appointments that God has set in motion for you long before you were born. Whether it was a chance encounter with someone who changed your life, a dream that led you down a new path, or a sudden moment of clarity that unlocked the answers to questions you've been asking for years. These divine encounters are not coincidences. They are signs that you are walking the path that God has planned for you. Just like Esther, who stepped into her calling at just the right time, so too will you step into the purpose God has written for you. It's time for the chosen ones to rise, to walk into their destiny, and to fulfill the divine calling that has been upon their lives since the beginning of time. The trials you faced were never meant to defeat you. They were meant to prepare you. Your losses, your moments of grief, your seasons of waiting, all of these have been part of the divine shaping process. God has been preparing you to carry out the work that He has called you to do. You may have asked why things didn't happen the way you expected, or why your journey has been marked with so many difficulties. But understand this: it is not the absence of struggle that prepares you. It is the way you rise through it. Each obstacle, each challenge, has been God's way of refining you, strengthening you, and making you ready for the purpose that lies ahead. In the Bible, we see time and time again that the greatest leaders, the most powerful vessels of God's work, were not chosen because of their comfort, but because of their perseverance through trials. Consider Joseph, who, before ever standing before Pharaoh, was thrown into a pit by his brothers, sold into slavery, and imprisoned for years. His dreams of greatness seemed to be cruel jokes, mocked by the very people who should have supported him. Yet all of his suffering was part of the process that prepared him to become the second in command in Egypt, where he would save his family and his nation from famine. Joseph was refined through hardship, and his calling was fulfilled because he chose to rise above his circumstances and trust in God's plan for his life. Like Joseph, you may have endured seasons of hardship, betrayal, and pain, but these experiences have not been for nothing. They have been the furnace in which your purpose has been forged. The wilderness is not meant to break you, it is meant to build you. Like gold that is refined in the fire, your character has been shaped and purified by the trials you've faced. Your perseverance through these challenges has made you ready to rise and walk into the calling that God has for you. The path of the chosen ones is one of endurance. It is not about avoiding hardship, but about trusting that through every trial, God is with you, refining you, and preparing you for the work ahead. The time has come for the chosen ones to rise. Your divine purpose has been set in motion. The experiences you have lived, the pain you have endured, and the moments of doubt you have faced have all led you to this moment in time. It is time to step into the divine calling that has always been yours. You are not meant to fit in with the ordinary. You are called to stand out, to be a light in the darkness, to bring solutions to the world's greatest problems, and to lead others to the truth of God's love and power. So, if you have felt abandoned, isolated, or rejected, remember this: your trials are not the end of your story. They are the preparation for your greatest breakthrough. Your calling is not on hold. It is being prepared, and it is time for you to rise and step into your divine purpose. The path of the chosen ones is one of struggle, yes, but it is also one of glory, of purpose, and of ultimate victory. It is time to walk boldly into the destiny that has been written for you from the very beginning. As the date of March 31st draws near, something extraordinary is beginning to unfold, one that will reverberate throughout the lives of those who are spiritually awake. For many, March 31st will seem like just another day on the calendar, another fleeting moment in the endless march of time. Yet for the chosen ones, those whose hearts have been attuned to the whispers of heaven, March 31st marks something far more significant. It is not just a simple day. It is a divine moment, a cosmic alignment that will change the course of their lives forever. On this day, heaven and earth will converge in a way that has been divinely orchestrated long before the beginning of time. It is a day when the spiritual realms will be in perfect alignment with the physical world, creating a moment of profound opportunity for those who are ready to embrace it. Those who have walked through seasons of struggle, confusion, and isolation will find that the doors that have remained locked for years will suddenly swing wide open. Promises that have laid dormant, forgotten in the depths of your soul, will come alive with unprecedented clarity and purpose. What once seemed like an impossible dream will transform into a tangible reality, and long-awaited blessings will begin to pour into your life. Divine connections, those relationships and appointments that were preordained before you were born, will manifest at exactly the right time. It will feel as though the universe itself has aligned to bring you the opportunities and breakthroughs you need to step into the calling you were always destined to fulfill. However, despite the incredible blessings and revelations that are set to unfold on March 31st, there is one crucial factor that will determine whether or not you are able to fully experience this divine moment. That factor is preparation. The key to unlocking the full potential of this divine appointment lies in how ready you are to receive it. For many, the arrival of March 31st will be a moment of spiritual separation, a defining line between those who are spiritually awake and those who remain trapped in darkness, oblivious to the sacred opportunity right in front of them. Will you be among those who recognize the significance of this day and step boldly into your divine destiny? Or will you remain spiritually asleep, missing the extraordinary moment that God has set before you? The choice is yours. This day will act as a test, a challenge to the readiness of your heart and spirit. It will be a line drawn in the sand that will separate the prepared from the unprepared. For those who have been spiritually diligent, those who have cultivated a heart of obedience and discernment, March 31st will bring a supernatural acceleration in their lives. You will experience breakthroughs, revelations, and an awakening that will propel you into the next phase of your divine journey. But for those who have neglected their spiritual preparation, who have allowed the distractions and noise of the world to cloud their vision, March 31st may pass by unnoticed. It may be just another day, another ordinary moment in the stream of time. But for the chosen ones, the ones who have been watching, waiting, and listening for the call of God, this date will mark the beginning of a new season of favor, purpose, and divine fulfillment. The signs that this moment is approaching are already here. If you have been paying attention, You may have noticed certain patterns appearing in your life, repeated numbers, strange synchronicities, vivid dreams, or moments of sudden clarity that seem to come from nowhere. These are not coincidences. These are God's whispers, gently guiding you toward the breakthrough that is about to unfold. They are divine signals, preparing you for what is coming, preparing you for the day when heaven touches earth in a way that will change your destiny. These signs are not random. They are pieces of a divine puzzle, leading you toward your moment of activation. Numbers like 111, 333, 555, and 777 may appear frequently in your life, and you may wonder what they mean. These are not just numbers, they are divine markers, each one holding a specific meaning and significance. They are reminders that the universe is aligning to bring you into your divine purpose. When you see these numbers, understand that God is speaking to you. He is telling you that something monumental is about to happen. He is opening the doors that have long been shut, and He is preparing you to step into the destiny that you were always meant to fulfill. These signs, whether they appear in the form of numbers, dreams, or encounters with people, are the way God communicates with those who are spiritually sensitive. They are His way of confirming that you are on the right path, that the time for your breakthrough is drawing near. And yet, even with these divine signs, the real question remains: will you be ready? The world is full of distractions, and it is easy to become so absorbed in the busyness of life that we miss the divine moments that God is setting before us. But God is calling you to wake up, to rise above the distractions of the world, and to see the truth that is unfolding around you. He is calling you to align yourself with His will, to tune out the noise, and to listen for His voice. March 31st will not be an ordinary day, but the key to experiencing its power lies in your ability to perceive the significance of the moment. The spiritual atmosphere is shifting, and those who are spiritually awake will feel it. You may have already begun to notice that your energy is changing. You may feel an increasing sense of urgency in your spirit, a growing awareness that something significant is approaching. This is not anxiety, it is divine anticipation. Your spirit recognizes that the veil between the physical and spiritual realms is thinning, and the time for your breakthrough is drawing near. But you must be prepared. You must position yourself to receive the abundant blessings and opportunities that are about to manifest. This means making time to tune in to the whispers of God, to spend time in prayer and meditation, to open your heart to His guidance. It means being intentional with your time, your energy, and your focus. When you are spiritually prepared, you will recognize the significance of March 31st as it arrives, and you will be ready to step into your divine calling without hesitation. Heaven is waiting for your response. The universe is aligning to bring you exactly what you need to fulfill your divine purpose. But God will not force His will upon you. He will not force you to step into your destiny. You must choose to respond. You must choose to rise above the distractions, to awaken your spirit, and to take action. March 31st is a moment of divine opportunity, but only those who are prepared will fully experience its power. Heaven is waiting for you to step forward, to claim your divine appointment, and to embrace the transformation that is coming. Will you be ready when the moment arrives? The time for hesitation is over. The time to step into your divine destiny is now. March 31st is a day like no other. It is a divine invitation, a moment that has been planned long before you were born. The question is, will you recognize it for what it is? Will you open your heart to the divine timing that is unfolding? Will you step boldly into your calling and take hold of the breakthrough that God has prepared for you? The signs are here, the opportunity is before you, and the time to act is now. Heaven is waiting for you to take that step. It is time to embrace your calling and walk boldly into the purpose that God has designed for you from the foundation of the world. As you stand on the threshold of this new season, remember, the enemy will try to distract you, to make you doubt, to make you feel unworthy. But you were chosen before time began, and March 31st is the moment when you will rise, unshaken, into the fullness of your destiny. This is your divine awakening, your moment of transformation. The time to act is now. Step forward, for the kingdom of heaven is waiting for you. Chosen one. Pause for just a moment. Let every distraction fade. Silence the noise around you. Still your racing thoughts. Because what you're about to read is not just another message, not just another spiritual encouragement. This is a divine transmission from the throne room of heaven itself, and it is no coincidence that you are here. Heaven has seen your struggles, your battles, your weary nights, and your hidden tears. Every detour, every heartache, every why me, all of it has led you here. You are being summoned. Heaven has an assignment with your name on it, and this message is the confirmation your soul has long waited for. The enemy has done everything in his power to prevent you from reaching this very moment. He sent distractions, discouragements, even despair. He whispered lies into your mind, sowed fear into your heart, and tried to bury your faith beneath layers of anxiety and trauma. But you're still here. And because you're still here, you've already won a battle the enemy hoped would break you. Now, get ready. Because what you're about to receive is not merely revelation, it is divine strategy. It is a heavenly blueprint that will shift your perspective, transform the way you fight, and ignite authority within you that hell has tried desperately to suppress. This is not about hype. This is about spiritual intelligence. This is about your weapon. And tonight you are permitted, no, authorized to wield it. There is a truth many people never fully grasp, a truth that once revealed changes everything. You cannot win a war you don't even realize you're in, and you certainly can't defeat an enemy you refuse to acknowledge. This is the silent tragedy playing out in the lives of countless believers. They wake up every day feeling pressure, anxiety, restlessness, or even despair, yet they have no idea why. They chalk it up to stress at work, relational heartbreak, financial tension, or mental fatigue. But what if the real source of these struggles isn't natural at all? What if what you're facing isn't just circumstantial, it's spiritual? Chosen one, hear this clearly. Behind every visible battle is an invisible war. You're not simply overwhelmed by life's chaos. You're standing in the midst of a spiritual battlefield. Every day, unseen forces wage war against your peace, your purpose, and your identity. You are not unlucky. You are not just going through a tough season. You are being targeted by an enemy who sees your potential more clearly than you often do. The Apostle Paul put it plainly in Ephesians 6:12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. This scripture isn't metaphorical. It is a divine warning and a call to arms. Your true battle is not with the coworker who betrayed your trust or the person who walked away. It's not with the sickness in your body, the debt that keeps climbing, or the childhood wounds that never fully healed. These are the symptoms, but the source is deeper. You are contending with a coordinated network of spiritual darkness designed to drain your strength, derail your destiny, and drown out your voice before it ever rises in power. Picture this. You're standing on a battlefield. Arrows are flying, swords are clashing, warriors are charging. But you're frozen paralyzed, not because you're weak, but because you're unaware. You can't see the war swirling around you. You feel the pressure in your chest, the heaviness in your heart, the anxiety in your mind, but you don't know where it's coming from. So you stay still. You accept defeat. You live beneath the level of spiritual victory that was always meant to be yours. And that is exactly what the enemy wants. The devil thrives in your blindness. He does his best work when you live distracted, detached, and spiritually asleep. Because if you don't know you're in a war, you won't reach for your weapon. If you don't recognize the attack, you won't raise your shield. If you never resist, he can steal from your life with impunity. Your joy, your clarity, your passion, your calling without you ever pushing back. But today, everything begins to shift. Your spirit is waking up. This is not imagination. This is a revelation. You are not broken. You are not cursed. You are not crazy. You are a chosen warrior who's been under fire because of the greatness God has placed inside of you. And now that you are becoming aware of the battlefield, now that your spiritual sight is being activated, the enemy is losing his grip on your life. This is the beginning of your awakening. And from this moment forward, you will no longer live unaware. You will no longer allow darkness to operate in the shadows of your life unchecked. You are not defenseless. You are not weak. You are not alone. You are being equipped. You are being trained. You are being armed with the truth. And once you know the battle you're in, you can finally fight like someone who's destined to win. Have you ever sat quietly with your thoughts and asked, why has my life always felt like a battle? Maybe you've looked around and wondered, why do I seem to struggle more than others? Why does joy feel like a reward I have to fight for? Why does peace seem like something just out of reach? You see people smiling, thriving, walking through life with ease. Meanwhile, you've been wading through storms, some public, many private. From your earliest memories, it's felt like you've been in a fight. Even before you had the words to pray, before you understood the language of faith, you were already engaged in a war you didn't ask for. You've carried wounds that others couldn't see. You've endured betrayals from the very people who were supposed to protect you. You've walked through fire while desperately reaching for light. But here's the truth. Few will ever say out loud, you are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are not broken beyond repair. You are chosen. That's not a poetic idea. That's a spiritual reality. The enemy doesn't waste resources on targets that pose no threat. If you were insignificant, he wouldn't have launched such an intentional attack against your life. If there wasn't something powerful within you, he wouldn't have worked so hard to try to bury it. The battle has always been intense because of what's inside you, not because of what's wrong with you. Before you ever discovered your identity in Christ, the enemy already had. Before you ever realized your calling, hell had already marked you as a threat. Before you ever said yes to God, the enemy recognized the mantle on your life. He saw the future impact of your obedience. He saw the power in your prayers, even before you knew how to speak them. He saw the fire in your voice, the authority in your spirit, the light in your destiny. And because of that, he came for you early. He didn't wait for you to mature in your faith. He started with childhood trauma. He planted seeds of fear, rejection, shame, and confusion, hoping to derail your purpose before you could even walk in it. But here's the miraculous part: he failed. Yes, the wounds were deep. The pain was real. The silence was heavy. But none of it stopped you. You're still here. You're still breathing. You're still seeking the truth. And that alone is proof of your spiritual resilience. What hell never wanted to happen is happening now. You are waking up. You are no longer blind to who you are. You are no longer believing the lie that you are unworthy, uncalled, or unwanted. You're beginning to see yourself through heaven's eyes, not as a victim of constant attack, but as a vessel of divine power. And with every revelation you receive, you are rising. With every lie you break, you are growing stronger. With every truth you embrace, you're becoming more dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. Let me say it clearly and boldly. You are a threat to hell. Your voice is powerful. Your purpose is vital. Your calling is unstoppable. The attacks on your life weren't because you're weak. They were because you're called. And now that you're stepping into that truth, the enemy knows he's running out of time. You are no longer who you used to be. You are not defined by your scars. You are not confined by your past. You are chosen, equipped, and awakened for something far greater than you've imagined. The battle around you has always been fierce, because the fire within you is even fiercer. And now, chosen one, it's your turn to rise and take your rightful place in the fight. Now that your eyes have been opened to the battle you're in and to the reason why the enemy has fought so fiercely against you, it's time to uncover the truth that changes everything. You are not defenseless. You have not been left to wander through spiritual warfare unarmed. Heaven has placed a weapon in your hands so potent, so unstoppable, that when used in faith, it causes the entire kingdom of darkness to tremble. This weapon wasn't crafted by human hands. It doesn't need bullets or blades. It doesn't rust, it doesn't run out, and it never fails. It has been tried through generations and has never once lost its power. And now, that weapon belongs to you. So, what is it? It is the Word of God. Before you dismiss that as something you've heard too often, stop and lean in. This isn't just a poetic metaphor. The Bible is not a religious relic or a collection of wise sayings. It is a living, breathing, divine instrument of war. It's not just ink on paper, it's the voice of God in written form, ready to be activated by faith and spoken with authority. Hebrews 4:12 declares, "For the word of God is alive and active, sharper than any double-edged sword. It penetrates even to dividing soul and spirit, joints and marrow. It judges the thoughts and attitudes of the heart." This is no passive book. This is no dull blade. This is a supernatural sword. And every time you speak it in faith, you strike at the very core of darkness. Every verse is a blow against deception. Every promise is laced with the authority of heaven. Every declaration becomes a strike that tears through fear, anxiety, confusion, and every lie the enemy has used to cage you. Look at the model Jesus gave us. When he faced Satan in the wilderness, he didn't engage in debate. He didn't raise his voice or argue his worth. He simply stood firm and responded, "It is written." That was enough. With those 3 words wielded with divine confidence, Jesus shattered every temptation, silenced every manipulation, and sent the enemy retreating in defeat. This is the strategy of heaven. This is spiritual warfare at its highest level, not striving, not panicking, not pleading, but standing firm and speaking what God has already spoken. You don't win spiritual battles by complaining. You don't overcome darkness by trying harder. You win when you open your mouth and release the word of God with unwavering faith. Because when you do, demons flee, chains fall, atmospheres shift, and what once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. The enemy hopes you never realize the power you possess in your tongue. He fears the day you stop quoting scripture as a ritual and start wielding it as a weapon. He dreads the moment when you begin to speak with boldness, not because of who you are, but because of who backs every word you speak. So today, let the truth sink deep into your spirit. You are armed. You are a warrior with a sword forged in eternity. And the word of God in your mouth is sharper, stronger, and more unstoppable than any force that stands against you. You don't have to invent the power. You just have to activate it, declare it, believe it, and wield it. Because when you do, you don't fight for victory. You fight from it. And nothing in hell can stand against a child of God who knows how to draw their sword. The enemy had a plan. He wasn't aiming to destroy you in a single blow. He wanted to wear you down slowly, relentlessly, methodically. He hoped to exhaust your strength before you ever discovered who you really are. His strategy wasn't always dramatic. Sometimes it was subtle distraction after distraction, disappointment after disappointment. He hoped you would settle into defeat, shrink back in fear, and surrender your purpose without ever stepping into the authority God placed within you. But now you know the truth. And once the truth is known, the enemy's grip begins to break. You're not barely making it. You're not scraping by in the dark, hoping for a miracle. You are being positioned by divine hands for something far greater than what you've seen. Every battle you've fought has trained your spirit. Every tear you've cried has watered the soil of your calling. Every silent night, every lonely hour, every unanswered prayer, it was never wasted. It was preparation. You are not just surviving anymore. You are rising into authority. You're not simply a believer, you are a warrior. You've been clothed in righteousness. You've been baptized in fire. Your prayers shake the atmosphere. Your presence carries fire because the Spirit of the living God dwells within you. This is not just your moment. This is your divine activation. The season of silence is over. The time of delay has expired. You don't need permission from man. You've already been authorized by God Himself. Every weapon formed against you may have tried to prosper, but not one succeeded. And now you are commanded to rise. This is your time to step out of fear and into boldness, to stop retreating and start advancing, to stop questioning your worth and start walking in your authority. The battles you've endured have built you, and now the fire inside you is greater than any storm around you. Draw your weapon, speak the word, pray with fire, stand in confidence, because tonight, heaven says this clearly over your life. You have been chosen, you have been trained, and now you have been authorized. Wield your weapon, warrior. The time is now. Heavenly Father, the great I am, the Lion of Judah, the consuming fire. Today I lift up every chosen one reading this message. This is not an accident. This is a divine appointment. Let every dormant spirit awaken. Let every buried dream rise. Let every spiritual gift that has been stifled now operate with full authority. Breathe your fire, your power, your wisdom, and your anointing upon them, O God. Break every chain, silence every lie, uproot every fear, cancel every assignment of darkness formed against them. Let them walk with holy boldness. Let them stand in spiritual clarity. Let them recognize who they are, not as the world sees them, but as you have declared. More than conquerors, ambassadors of light, warriors of the kingdom. And now, O Lord, as they lift the sword of the Spirit, your word, let victory be their portion. Let healing break forth. Let restoration flood their lives. Let divine acceleration overtake them. From this moment, they will no longer fight from defeat. They will fight from victory. In the mighty, matchless name of Jesus Christ. Amen. You are chosen. You are anointed. You are armed. And now you are dangerous. Let today mark your spiritual turning point. Declare it. Proclaim it. Walk in it. You have been permitted to use the weapon. Tonight, use it. If you feel this message in your soul, acknowledge it. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment 777 below to affirm your alignment. Let the spiritual realm witness your awakening. This is your moment. This is your mission. This is your destiny. And nothing will ever be the same again. You are chosen. Now act like it. Chosen one, you did not find this message by chance. You were meant to be here, at this exact moment hearing these words. The universe, the divine, and the forces beyond the veil have aligned to bring you to this revelation. Tonight marks the beginning of something profound, an event that has been foretold for centuries, hidden in ancient texts, whispered in sacred prophecies, and now unfolding in real time. The 144,000 chosen ones are gathering not in the physical world but in the higher realms, where energy, destiny, and divine purpose intersect. Do you feel it? That deep stirring within your soul? That undeniable sensation that something powerful is shifting in the unseen world? The veil between dimensions is thinner than ever before. Those attuned to the spiritual realm will feel an unmistakable energy coursing through them. Some will experience prophetic dreams, divine messages, or a profound sense of unity with something greater than themselves. This is the moment of activation. If you have ever questioned your purpose, if you have ever felt different, if you have ever sensed that you were meant for something greater, this is your confirmation. You are part of this. You are one of the 144,000. For generations, the prophecy of the 144,000 has echoed through time, woven into ancient texts, sacred teachings, and mystical revelations. It is not a forgotten myth nor a distant legend, but a divine code, a calling written into the very fabric of existence. This prophecy speaks of a hidden force, a sacred army of light destined to rise when the world reaches its darkest hour. Their purpose is not conquest nor destruction, but awakening, a great unveiling of truth that will shatter the illusions that have bound humanity for ages. Throughout history, many have encountered this number in religious scriptures and esoteric teachings, yet few have grasped its true significance. Some believe it represents a literal group of souls, predetermined from the beginning of time. Others see it as a symbolic force, a vast collective consciousness awakening to its divine purpose. But the truth runs deeper than mere numbers or abstract interpretations. The 144,000 are not just a statistic, they are a movement, a force of transformation, a beacon of divine energy radiating across the spiritual realms. Unlike the rulers of this world, they are not chosen based on material wealth, social status, or earthly power. They are not recognized by crowns, titles, or possessions. Instead, they are marked by the strength of their spirit, the purity of their mission, and their unshakable connection to the divine. They are the ones who have endured lifetimes of trials, facing adversity, rejection, and solitude, only to emerge stronger, wiser, and more resolute. Every hardship they have faced was not a punishment, but a preparation. Their souls have been forged in the fires of experience, their wisdom carved from the depths of struggle. If you have felt a deep sense of purpose beyond the mundane, if you have always sensed that you were different, if you have carried within you an unshakable knowing that you were meant for something greater, this is your confirmation. You are not here to blend in with the many. You are here to lead. The world is asleep, ensnared in illusions carefully woven to suppress the truth, and the time has come for the chosen to rise. The moment of awakening is now. The 144,000 are stepping into their divine mission, and if these words resonate within your soul, it is because you are one of them. The prophecy is unfolding, and you are an essential part of it. From the moment you took your first breath in this world, you knew you were different. There was something within you, an awareness, a knowing, that set you apart from those around you. While others moved through life unquestioning, accepting the world as it was presented to them, you saw beyond the surface. You sensed things before they happened, felt energies others ignored, and recognized the illusions that kept people trapped in a false reality. Even as a child, you may have felt like an outsider, as though you were walking through life with a purpose you could not yet fully comprehend. Your journey has not been an easy one. Throughout your life, you may have experienced moments of deep isolation, times when you felt disconnected from the world around you, as if searching for something you could not name. You have faced struggles that tested your spirit, battles that pushed you to the brink, and challenges that seemed insurmountable. But none of it was without reason. Every hardship, every pain, every moment of doubt was part of a greater preparation. The fire you walked through was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to refine you, to awaken the power within you, and to shape you into the being you were always meant to become. You were never meant to conform to the patterns of this world. You were never meant to follow the path of the many. The unease you have felt, the questions that have burned in your mind, the pull towards something greater, these were not coincidences. They were signs, reminders of your true nature, clues leading you to this very moment. And now, that moment has arrived. Tonight, the next stage of your awakening begins. The 144,000 are being activated. And if you are reading this, you are part of that divine calling. The energy is shifting. The veil between worlds is thinning, and those who are ready will feel it in their very core. This is the time for the chosen to rise, to embrace their mission, and to step fully into the light of their destiny. You were never meant to stay in the shadows. You were meant to shine. And now, the world is waiting. This world is not what it appears to be. Beyond the veil of ordinary life, beneath the illusions of daily existence, an ancient battle has been raging since the dawn of time. It is not a war fought with swords, guns, or earthly weapons, nor is it confined to physical battlefields. It is a war for the very soul of humanity, a relentless struggle between light and darkness, truth and deception, freedom and enslavement. The forces of darkness have worked tirelessly to keep humanity blind, lost, and disconnected from its divine essence. They have woven a web of distractions, manipulated reality through false narratives, and shrouded the minds of millions in spiritual blindness. Every system designed to dull intuition, suppress independent thought, and breed conformity is part of this war. The world is filled with noise, chaos, and carefully crafted illusions to keep people asleep, to prevent them from realizing their true power. And yet, despite their efforts, the light cannot be extinguished. The darkness fears the light, for it knows that once the truth is revealed, its hold will weaken. That is why those who carry the divine spark, the 144,000, have faced such immense trials. Have you ever wondered why your life has been filled with struggle, why you have endured betrayals, rejection, and obstacles that others seem to escape? It is because the darkness recognized you long before you recognized yourself. It saw the power within you, the potential for awakening, and sought to break you before you could rise. But it has failed. Despite every hardship, every attack, every attempt to silence you, you are still here. And tonight, as the 144,000 unite, the forces of darkness will tremble. The time of their control is coming to an end. The energy is shifting, and those who are ready to embrace their divine calling will feel it deep within their souls. This is the moment of reckoning, the turning point in the spiritual war. The awakening of the chosen is not just a possibility, it is an unstoppable force, and as the light rises, the grip of darkness will crumble. Tonight is unlike any other night. Beneath the surface of ordinary existence, beyond the limits of human perception, something profound is unfolding in the spiritual realm. This is not a moment bound by time or geography. It is a convergence of souls, a sacred alignment where the chosen ones are drawn together through an unseen force that transcends the physical world. Though separated by distance, they are united in energy, in purpose, in divine resonance. As this gathering takes place, the veil between worlds will thin, and those attuned to the shift will experience its effects in ways both subtle and undeniable. Some will feel an overwhelming sense of peace, as if a heavy burden they have carried for lifetimes is suddenly lifted. Others will be struck by a surge of energy, an electrifying pulse moving through their being, awakening dormant aspects of their soul. Prophetic dreams may come, visions of what is to unfold, flashes of divine insight revealing knowledge long hidden from the conscious mind. Some will see patterns of light, symbols not meant for the eyes but for the soul to understand. For many, the most powerful sensation will be an unshakable sense of unity. The loneliness, the isolation that has accompanied their journey will fade into the realization that they have never truly been alone. They are part of something vast, something eternal, something far greater than they ever imagined. And in that moment of recognition, fear and doubt will dissolve, replaced by a deep knowing, a certainty that they are exactly where they need to be, stepping fully into their divine purpose. This is not a night of chaos or confusion. It is a night of alignment, of divine order, of prophecy unfolding before our very eyes. The forces of darkness have worked tirelessly to prevent this awakening, to keep the chosen ones disconnected, distracted, and doubting their own power. But tonight, their efforts will fail. The 144,000 are rising, and the shift they bring will send ripples through every plane of existence. This is the moment the darkness has feared, and it is only the beginning. The time has come. The sacred alignment is unfolding, and the spiritual realm is calling you to step fully into your divine purpose. But to receive the energy of this transformation, you must be prepared. You cannot enter this moment carrying the weight of distractions, doubt, or fear. Your mind must be clear, your spirit open, and your heart ready to embrace what is coming. Begin by cleansing your energy. The world is filled with heavy frequencies, fear, anger, and doubt that cloud the mind and weaken the soul. These energies are designed to keep you disconnected from your higher self. Release them. Let go of anything that no longer serves you. Take a deep breath, center yourself, and allow the light to fill every part of your being. Meditation, prayer, or even quiet reflection will help realign you with the divine flow. Next, disconnect from distractions. The noise of the world, the endless chaos, the demands, the illusions are meant to keep you asleep. But tonight, silence is your ally. Turn off external distractions. Step away from anything that pulls you from your inner truth. Find stillness. The spiritual realm is speaking, and only those who are truly listening will hear its call. As you prepare, ground yourself in truth. The forces of darkness will try to shake your faith, whispering confusion and doubt into your mind. They want you to question your worth, to wonder if you are truly meant for this mission. But understand this: you would not feel the call if you were not chosen. This alignment is not accidental. It has been orchestrated since before time, and you are exactly where you are meant to be. Stand firm in knowing. Raise your frequency. Fear, negativity, and doubt will lower your vibration and block the divine energy trying to reach you. Do not allow darkness to take root. Protect your energy, surround yourself with light, and elevate your consciousness. The higher your vibration, the more deeply you will connect with the awakening taking place. Speak it into existence. Write it down. Set a clear intention. I am ready. I step fully into my divine mission. I embrace my purpose without fear. Words have power, and when spoken with conviction, they shape reality. The moment is here. The alignment is happening. You must step forward with confidence, for this is the night that will change everything. Tonight is not the conclusion of your journey. It is the beginning of something far greater. The alignment you have stepped into will shift everything, awakening a power within you that has long been waiting to rise. From this moment forward, you will no longer see the world as you once did. The illusions that once clouded your vision will dissolve, revealing truth with a clarity you have never known before. A deeper sense of purpose will settle within you, guiding your every step with unwavering certainty. But with this awakening comes responsibility. Your mission is not to force change upon others, but to embody the light so powerfully that those who are ready will awaken simply by witnessing your truth. You are a guide, a beacon in a world that has long been shrouded in darkness. Your existence alone, the way you carry yourself, the strength of your spirit, will be enough to stir something within those who are seeking. You do not need to convince, debate, or demand. Your presence will do the work. Yet, be prepared. The forces that have worked to keep humanity blind will not surrender easily. Now that you have stepped into your power, the forces of deception will try harder than ever to silence you. They will seek to cast doubt upon your path, to pull you back into the illusions you have only just escaped. The world will not understand you. It never has, and it never will. But that is not your burden to carry. You were not sent here to be understood. You were sent to fulfill a prophecy. The distractions, the resistance, the attempts to suppress your light, none of it matters. What matters is that you continue to rise, to stand firm in your truth, and to walk forward with unwavering faith. The awakening is accelerating, and the time for hesitation is over. You are here for a reason. You were chosen for this moment. The world will never be the same after tonight. The spiritual realm has shifted. The energy of the 144,000 has begun to dismantle the illusion. The darkness is losing its grip, but the war is not over. The enemy will resist, but it will fail. You must stand firm. You must hold your light. You must walk in your power. The time for hesitation has long passed. You were sent here for this exact moment, and now the world needs you. Tonight, you rise. If you feel this message in your soul, acknowledge it. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment 777 below to affirm your alignment. Let the spiritual realm witness your awakening. This is your moment. This is your mission. This is your destiny, and nothing will ever be the same again. You are chosen. Now act like it. Listen closely. This is not another empty motivation speech. This is your final message before the shift. The world around you is not as it seems, and the forces working against you are not what you've been told. They have lied to you, manipulated you, and spent years poisoning your mind, not because you are weak, but because you are strong beyond measure. They fear what they cannot control, and you, chosen one, are the one thing they have never been able to control. The wolves do not chase the weak, they hunt the strongest. They whisper doubts into your mind, turn your loved ones against you, place obstacles in your path, and make you question your very purpose. Why? Because they know exactly what it is. This is the war for your awakening. This war is not fought with swords, but with distractions, deception, and control over your energy. Every time you hesitate, every time you doubt yourself, every time you let fear stop you, they win. But the moment a chosen one realizes who they are, the enemy loses all power. So I ask you, are you ready to wake up? Or will you remain trapped in their illusion? Because once you see the truth, there is no going back. The greatest deception ever orchestrated was not one of war, politics, or power. It was the lie that the chosen ones were powerless. It was a carefully woven illusion, designed not to defeat you outright, but to keep you blind to what has always been inside you. They knew who you were before you even had a clue, before you ever questioned why life felt different, why you never truly fit in, why betrayals cut deeper than they should. They had already seen you. They recognized the force within you, the kind of power that cannot be bought, imitated, or stolen, and that terrified them. So, they struck early. They placed roadblocks before you could even take your first step. They whispered doubts before you could even form words of confidence. They surrounded you with people who could not see your light, people who doubted you, envied you, and subtly sought to diminish your worth. Every hardship, every moment of self-doubt, every betrayal, it was never just misfortune. It was intentional. The system was never built to nurture the chosen ones. It was built to suppress them before they could awaken. Look at history, and the pattern becomes undeniable. The greatest souls were marked before they ever knew their own destiny. Jesus was hunted before he could even speak. Moses was abandoned before he could walk. Malcolm X was targeted before he could rise. Every chosen one who has ever existed has faced the same script: opposition before realization, isolation before leadership, trials before transformation, because the enemy never waits. They do not strike when you are strong. They come when you are vulnerable, young, and unaware. They do not need to stop a warrior in full power. They only need to make sure you never realize you are one. And yet, despite everything they threw at you, you are still here. Despite the countless moments designed to break you, you have not only survived, but have begun to see through the illusion. The very thing they feared most is happening. You are awakening. And the moment you fully recognize who you are, they lose all control. A lion does not ask for permission to roar, just as a chosen one does not need validation to rise. From the moment you entered this world, you carried something rare, something unexplainable, a power that cannot be taught, borrowed, or imitated. It was placed inside you before birth, woven into your very existence. Yet, from the beginning, the world has worked tirelessly to convince you that you are ordinary. They told you to stay in line, to follow the rules, to suppress the fire inside you. They conditioned you to seek approval, to look to others for validation, to believe that your worth depended on their recognition. But deep down, you have always known the truth. Even in your most uncertain moments, even when doubt wrapped itself around you, something inside refused to be extinguished. Because power like yours cannot be destroyed. It can only be forgotten. Have you ever noticed how the most gifted, insightful, And spiritually powerful people are also the ones who face the greatest struggles, the ones whose lives seem like an endless battle. That is not coincidence. It is by design. They cannot allow you to see what you truly are. So, they distract you. They bury you in self-doubt, in toxic relationships, in never-ending hardships. They drain your energy, break your confidence, and exhaust you until you are too tired to fight for your destiny. Think about it. How many times have you questioned yourself, not because you lacked ability, but because the world made you feel like you weren't enough? How many dreams have you abandoned, not because you didn't believe in them, but because someone else convinced you they were unrealistic? This is their strategy, to keep you lost so that you never step fully into your calling. But now, you are beginning to remember. You are waking up, and they can feel it. The very thing they feared most is happening. You are reclaiming what has always been yours, and once a chosen one rises, there is no force in this world that can bring them back down. When they cannot possess the fire, they seek to extinguish it. They have tried everything, stealing from you, imitating you, even tearing you down, but nothing works. No matter how much they analyze you, study your every move, or attempt to replicate what you have, they will never be you. And that drives them insane. So they did the next best thing. They tricked you into giving it away. They whispered doubts into your mind, making you second-guess yourself at every turn. They surrounded you with people who drained your energy, who made you question your worth, who fed you fear instead of faith. They created distractions, endless cycles of struggle, toxic relationships, and betrayals to keep you too exhausted to fight, too weary to recognize your own power. And the worst part? It almost worked. How many times have you hesitated, not because you weren't capable, but because someone else convinced you that you weren't? How many dreams have you abandoned, not because they were impossible, but because the world told you they were? That was their plan all along, to keep you small, to keep you controlled, to keep you from realizing who you were always meant to be. But here is what they never expected. You survived. Despite every obstacle, every betrayal, every moment designed to break you are still here. And now, something inside you is stirring. The illusions they built around you are beginning to crumble. And the moment you reclaim your power, the game changes forever. Because a chosen one who has awakened is a force that cannot be stopped. The greatest wars are not fought with weapons, armies, or battlefields. They are waged in the mind, in the soul, in the quiet spaces where no one is watching. This war does not need to take your life physically. It only needs to break you mentally and spiritually. If they can control your thoughts, they control your choices. If they can weaken your spirit, they don't need chains to keep you bound. And so they attack in silence. They use the people closest to you, the ones you trust, the ones who should have stood by your side. They plant seeds of doubt, turning friends into enemies, family into sources of pain. Not because those people were always against you, but because they were used as weapons without even realizing it. A careless word, an unkind action, a betrayal when you least expect it. These things are not coincidences. They whisper to you through exhaustion, draining your energy with endless struggles, distractions, and unseen battles. They make you feel like no matter how hard you fight, you will never win. They want you to be weary. They want you questioning. They want you to feel too weak to keep going. Every setback, every heartbreak, every moment where you wanted to give up, it was all carefully placed in your path, designed to break your spirit before you could step into your true power. But here is what they never expected. You got back up. Every time they knocked you down, you refused to stay on the ground. Every time they thought they had finally broken you, you kept moving forward. That is what terrifies them the most. Because a chosen one who refuses to give up is unstoppable. A chosen one who sees the war for what it is, who understands that these attacks were never random, but calculated, can never be manipulated again. And once you see the truth, you can never unsee it. The war may be invisible, but you have felt its weight your entire life. Now, You have a choice. Will you continue to let it control you? Or will you rise knowing that your very existence is proof that you were meant to win? The eagle does not fly in flocks. It soars alone, high above the rest, untouched by the noise of the world below. The higher it ascends, the fewer can follow. And so it is with the chosen ones. You have felt it your entire life, the loneliness, the unshakable sense that you don't quite belong, the quiet understanding that you are different. No matter how much you tried to blend in, to be like everyone else, something within you always refused to conform. That is because you were never meant to fit in. The world does not embrace the chosen. It isolates them. It separates them, forces them into solitude, pushes them into battles that must be fought alone, not as punishment, but as preparation. Because those who are meant to lead cannot afford to be ordinary. They must be unshakable. Think about the people who have come and gone from your life, the friends who faded away, the ones you thought would always be there, only to watch them disappear when you needed them most. At times, it may have felt like rejection, like abandonment, like an unbearable loneliness. But it was never rejection. It was elevation. Not everyone can walk the same path as you. Not everyone is meant to rise to the level you are called to reach. And so, one by one, they fall away, not because you were not worthy of love or companionship, but because your journey required separation. So I ask you, will you keep mourning those who left? Will you keep looking back, wondering why they couldn't stay, why they didn't understand you, why they chose to walk away? Or will you accept what has always been true? You were never meant to stay where they are. The right people will come. The ones who truly understand you, who match your energy, who carry their own light instead of feeding off yours. But they will not find you in the places you have outgrown. They will meet you at the next level. Until then, embrace solitude. It is not a curse. It is your preparation. It is in the stillness that you are sharpened, in the silence that you hear your true calling, in the isolation that you become the force you were always meant to be. Because when your time comes, when you finally step into your full power, you will no longer crave belonging. You will understand that you were always meant to stand apart. No more waiting. No more hesitating. No more sitting in the shadows, watching the world unfold before you, waiting for the perfect moment to act. The perfect moment does not exist. The right time is not somewhere in the future. It is right now. For too long, you have been searching for a sign, some undeniable proof that you are meant for more. This is your sign. The very fact that you are here, reading these words, feeling this truth resonate within you, is proof that the time for waiting has passed. The world is growing darker. The distractions are becoming more powerful. The forces working against you are no longer subtle. They are relentless, pushing harder than ever to keep you asleep, lost, and uncertain. They want you trapped in hesitation because hesitation is their greatest weapon. Every moment you delay, every time you question yourself, every excuse you make, it gives them more power over you. But you were not sent here to live in fear. You were not chosen to remain small, to play it safe, to wait for someone else to tell you when it's time. Your destiny has always been waiting for you, but you must be the one to claim it. So I ask you again, will you rise, or will you keep waiting for a moment that will never come? Will you keep making excuses, keep doubting, keep hoping that one day everything will feel ready? Because chosen ones do not wait. They move. They step forward even when they are afraid, even when the path is unclear, even when the world tells them to stop. They rise, not because the timing is perfect, but because they refuse to stay asleep any longer. This is the moment. Your moment. What you do next will change everything. Everything you have been through led you here to this moment, to this message, to this choice. You have been tested. You have been betrayed. You have been pushed to the edge time and time again. Yet, you are still here. That alone should tell you something. You were not meant to be broken. You were not meant to stay small. You were meant to rise. No more excuses, no more hesitation, no more waiting for the world to recognize what you already know in your soul. This is your moment of truth, because the world is about to witness the awakening they never saw coming. And the enemy's greatest fear? You finally realize who you were always meant to be. Thank you for being here, for seeking truth, for embracing the path you were meant to walk. This journey is only beginning. Subscribe now and stay connected, because together we rise. The world is changing, and the chosen ones must stand united. Your awakening starts now. Beloved chosen one, the moment you have long felt in your soul has arrived. No longer do you need to question why you have always felt different, why the world's rules never seemed to apply to you, why the paths others walked with ease never felt like yours to take. Deep within, you have always known. You were never meant to belong to this world. The systems, the structures, the expectations placed upon you, they were all illusions meant to keep you confined. Yet despite every attempt to shape you into something ordinary, your spirit has remained unshaken. And now, the veil is lifting. The truth is emerging. Your real family has come to find you. They have always been there, watching, guiding, waiting for the moment you would awaken to your true destiny. That moment is now. You were never meant to live an ordinary life. You were meant for greatness. Your path was never like others. It was divinely designed, crafted by the hands of a power greater than this world. It is time to reclaim your place, to embrace the truth of who you are, and to walk into the life you are always destined to live. Chapter 1. The signs you have always known. From the moment you became aware of the world around you, something felt different. It wasn't just a fleeting thought or a passing feeling. It was a deep, unshakable knowing that you did not quite belong in the way others seemed to. While those around you moved through life effortlessly, following the unspoken rules of society, you felt like an observer, watching a world that never fully resonated with your soul. You sensed that something far greater existed beyond what was presented to you. As a child, you often found yourself lost in thought, questioning the very nature of reality. Why did people accept things the way they were? Why did they follow rules without questioning who created them? Why did they live in fear of failure, of judgment, of stepping beyond the lines drawn for them? You saw the cracks in the foundation of the world's systems. You noticed how people willingly surrendered their freedom in exchange for comfort, how they followed paths dictated by others without ever daring to forge their own. But you refused. You tried to fit in, to silence that voice inside you that told you there was more. But no matter how hard you tried, it never worked. The conversations around you felt shallow. The ambitions of others seemed empty. While people chased after material success, status, and approval, you longed for something deeper, something eternal. You searched for meaning in ways that others could not understand. There were moments when you felt isolated, wondering if anyone else could sense what you sensed, if anyone else saw beyond the illusion. But even in those lonely moments, your spirit could not be silenced. In the quiet hours of the night, when the world was asleep, your soul stirred. In the spaces between words, in the pauses between breaths, you felt the truth whispering to you. You are more than this. You were meant for something greater. And now, at last, that deep knowing is being confirmed. The questions that have followed you for so long, the quiet urges of your soul, the persistent feeling that you were destined for something beyond this world, they were never wrong. You were never imagining things. You were never lost. You were always awake. Chapter 2. The moment of transformation. Have you ever witnessed a moment when someone who once seemed unshakable, so sure of themselves, so unwavering in their beliefs, suddenly hesitates? A soldier trained for battle, conditioned to react without fear, yet in a critical moment, their hands tremble. A leader, once moving with unbreakable confidence, now questions the very decisions they once made without doubt. a figure of power and certainty, suddenly uncertain. What could cause such a profound shift? What force is great enough to disrupt years, perhaps even a lifetime of conditioning? It happens when they encounter something greater than themselves. This is the moment when everything changes. It is the breaking point between who they were and who they are meant to become. It is the moment when the weight of truth becomes undeniable, when the veil of illusion is torn away, revealing what was hidden all along. King Saul knew this moment well. Chosen by God to lead Israel, he commanded with authority, making decisions that shaped the fate of a nation. He was strong, respected, and anointed for greatness. Yet, when he turned away from divine guidance, his power began to fade. His confidence eroded, his decisions faltered, and his spirit grew restless. The prophet Samuel rebuked him with words that cut deeper than any sword. To obey is better than sacrifice, for rebellion is as the sin of divination, and arrogance like the evil of idolatry. Saul had been trained to rule, but when confronted with the will of God, he realized his power was nothing without obedience. He had relied on his own understanding, his own strength, but the very foundation upon which he had built his life began to crumble. How often do we find ourselves in the same position? We trust in what we've been taught, in the skills and knowledge we've accumulated, believing they will carry us forward. But what happens when we are faced with something beyond the scope of our understanding? What happens when we realize that everything we've relied on has only prepared us for one final lesson, that there is something higher than all we have known? Moses, too, faced hesitation before his divine mission. He stood before the burning bush, trembling at the thought of confronting Pharaoh. "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt?" he asked. The doubt crept in, the hesitation held him back. But God's response was simple, powerful, and absolute. "I will be with you." Even Jesus, the Son of God, knew this moment of hesitation. In the Garden of Gethsemane, the weight of the path before him bore down upon his soul. The suffering, the sacrifice, it was overwhelming. And so, he prayed, "Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me. Yet not my will, but yours be done." It was not weakness. It was the human soul standing before the divine will, trembling at the enormity of what lay ahead. And now, it is happening to you. You are standing at the threshold of transformation. The old ways, the old beliefs, the old self, they are falling away. The hesitation you feel is not fear. It is the weight of the calling that has been placed upon you. You are being asked to step beyond what you have known, to release the safety of familiarity, and to embrace the path laid before you. Chapter 3. The Truth That Shatters Illusions. The world is not what it seems. The systems that govern it, the structures that shape it, the rulers who claim power over it, none of them hold the authority they believe they do. For centuries, they have built illusions of control, designing institutions, laws, and ideologies meant to shape the minds of the masses. They dictate what is possible and what is not, who will rise and who will fall, who will be heard and who will be silenced. And yet, beneath their carefully constructed world, truth has never been bound by their rules. There is a reason they work so hard to maintain their control. They know that power is fragile, that their influence is only as strong as the belief of those who submit to it. The moment people awaken to the truth, the illusion crumbles. That is why they fear those who cannot be controlled, those whose eyes have been opened, those who see beyond the veil of deception. Think of David standing before Goliath. The world saw a boy small, unarmed, untrained. Goliath, a giant of war, stood towering over him, clad in armor, holding weapons forged for battle. By every earthly standard, David did not stand a chance. But David knew something that Goliath did not. He did not fight with swords or shields. His strength did not come from the weapons of men. Instead, he declared, "You come against me with sword and spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty." And with a single stone, the giant fell. This is the truth they do not want you to know. The real power has never belonged to them. It has always belonged to those who walk in faith, to those who understand that divine strength is greater than anything man can build. The same power that was with David is with you. It is the power that delivered Moses, the man who stood against Pharaoh and led his people to freedom. The power that sustained Jesus, who bore the weight of the cross yet conquered death itself. The power that freed Nelson Mandela after 27 years of imprisonment, transforming a prisoner into a president, a symbol of oppression into a symbol of hope. This power is moving through you right now, and that is why they fear you. The world does not understand those who refuse to be controlled. It cannot predict those who do not submit to its rules. So, it seeks to silence them. It buries their names, erases their history, rewrites their stories. It brands them as outcasts, rebels, threats to stability. Because the moment people see the truth, the moment they recognize that they were never truly bound, the entire system collapses. But here is the question. What happens when the thing they tried to suppress refuses to stay hidden? What happens when the voices they silenced begin to rise again? What happens when the truth they buried pushes through the cracks, breaking the foundation of their illusion? They have spent their existence ensuring that the world follows a script, that people stay within the roles assigned to them. But you were never meant to follow their script. They cannot control you. They cannot contain you, and that terrifies them. The giant before you is nothing but a shadow. And just like David, you are armed with something greater than any weapon this world can create. Chapter 4. The Rise of the Chosen Ones. Throughout history, there have always been those who refused to be controlled, those who stood against the forces of oppression, who defied the expectations placed upon them, who refused to surrender to fear. They were not the strongest by worldly standards, nor were they always the most powerful in the eyes of men. But they carried something far greater, an unshakable spirit, a divine calling, and a truth that could not be silenced. Rosa Parks was just one woman, seated on a bus, in a world that told her she had no right to stand against injustice. But with a single act of defiance, refusing to give up her seat, she ignited a revolution. The system had told her she was powerless, yet her courage shattered the illusion of control. The ripple effect of her resistance reached far beyond that moment, proving that when even one person refuses to bow, the entire foundation of oppression begins to shake. Mahatma Gandhi did not fight with weapons. He did not raise an army. Instead, he stood in unwavering truth, choosing nonviolent resistance against the greatest empire of his time. He was beaten, imprisoned, mocked, but he did not break. Through his unrelenting faith and determination, the chains of British rule over India were shattered. The world told him that power belonged to the oppressors, but Gandhi proved that true power comes from the soul that refuses to be conquered. And then there was Jesus Christ, the greatest of them all. He was rejected by the world, mocked by the powerful, and crucified as though he was nothing. But those who sought to destroy him did not understand who they were trying to silence. They believed that nailing him to a cross would be the end of his story. But on the third day, he rose again. He overcame death itself, proving that no force in heaven or on earth could hold him down. And now, it is your turn. You have always known that you do not belong to this world in the way others do. You were never meant to blend in, to be just another part of a broken system. You were meant to rise above it. The forces of this world will tell you that you must obey, that you must conform, that you must accept their version of reality. But that is the greatest lie ever told. You were not created to fit into their mold. You were created to break it. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. You were born to be unstoppable. The world may try to contain you, but it cannot. The systems of control may try to silence you, but your voice will only grow louder. The forces of darkness may try to chain you, but you will break free. The rise of the chosen ones has begun, and nothing can stand in your way. This is the moment where everything changes. The hesitation is over. The waiting has ended. The truth has been revealed, and now your spirit stirs with certainty. You have always known there was something greater, a higher calling, a deeper truth, a purpose waiting to be fulfilled. Now, that moment has arrived. Your true home awaits. Your real family is here. Your destiny is calling, and heaven itself rejoices as you step forward. You were never meant to walk alone. The chosen ones rise together, bound not by the system. Dear chosen one, if you are watching this, it is not by chance. You have been led here, guided by a force greater than yourself, because your life is about to change in ways you never imagined. The struggles, the sleepless nights, the unanswered prayers, all of it has been preparing you for this very moment. You are on the brink of a divine transformation where you will step into unlimited abundance, prosperity, and joy. God is calling His chosen ones to rise, to leave behind limitations, and to embrace a destiny far greater than they ever dreamed possible. You have worked tirelessly, yet something inside you whispers that you were meant for more. That whisper is not your imagination. It is God's voice telling you it is time. Today, I bring you a message of faith, transformation, and supernatural provision. You are about to step into a millionaire destiny, not through endless toil, but through divine favor. Your struggles are ending, and your breakthrough is beginning. So, open your heart, clear your mind, and prepare yourself, because your life will never be the same after this. For far too long, you have found yourself caught in a cycle of working tirelessly with little to show for it. You have given your time, energy, and passion to jobs that fail to recognize your worth, draining your spirit rather than fulfilling your purpose. You have watched others rise to success while you remain stuck, wondering if your breakthrough will ever come. Society has taught you that financial security is only achieved through relentless effort, that wealth is reserved for the select few who sacrifice everything to attain it. But let me tell you something. This is not the life you are meant to live. God did not place you on this earth merely to struggle, to work endlessly just to make ends meet, and to live a life of limitation. You were created for something greater. You are not here to be overlooked, undervalued, or bound by financial hardship. Your purpose is not to serve those who fail to see your value. Your purpose is to lead, to create, and to prosper. That deep desire within you for more freedom, more abundance, more impact, is not greed. It is God's calling, reminding you that you were made for a life beyond struggle. Now is the time to break free. Break free from the chains of financial hardship that have kept you trapped. Free yourself from the jobs that deplete your soul and keep you from stepping into your true calling. Free yourself from the belief that wealth and success belong to others, but not to you. You are just as worthy of abundance as anyone else. The struggle is not your destiny, prosperity is. The world may tell you that success only comes through backbreaking labor and endless sacrifice. But God's plan is different. His favor does not come through exhaustion, it comes through faith. When God chooses to bless you, no man, no system, and no circumstance can stand in the way. The shift in your life is already in motion. Your breakthrough is coming, and when it arrives, nothing will be able to stop it. So, lift your head high. You were never meant to settle. You were never meant to live in lack. God has already written abundance into your story. Now, all that is left is for you to step forward in faith and claim the life He has been preparing for you. The struggle ends here. Your time is now. Imagine waking up each day knowing that money is no longer a source of stress. Imagine a life where your bank account is overflowing, where your dreams are no longer distant possibilities but tangible realities, and where your heart is at peace, knowing that you are fully provided for. This is not just wishful thinking. This is your destiny. The financial transformation that is coming to you is not an ordinary change. It is not just an increase in your paycheck, a sudden promotion, or a lucky break. This is a divine shift. The windows of heaven are opening, and God is preparing to pour out blessings so great that you will not have room to contain them. This is not wealth that comes through struggle or mere human effort. This is supernatural provision, flowing effortlessly into your life beyond anything you have ever imagined. What this abundance looks like in your life: a financial overflow. The days of living paycheck to paycheck are over. You will have more than enough to provide for yourself, more than enough to bless others, and more than enough to live without financial worry. Opportunities knocking at your door. The right doors will open for you at the right time. You won't have to force success. It will come to you naturally. The right career moves, the best investments, and the most profitable ventures will align in your favor. Divine connections. God will place people in your life who will help you rise higher. Mentors, business partners, and influential individuals will be drawn to you, guiding you toward greater wealth and success. An elevated lifestyle. No more settling for less than you deserve. You will live in abundance, comfort, and joy. Your home, your environment, and your experiences will reflect the blessings God has poured into your life. And here is the most powerful truth. When God blesses you, it is not temporary. This wealth will not come and go like fleeting riches. It will be permanent, limitless, and generational. The abundance He is about to release into your life is not just for you. It is meant to bless your family, uplift your community, and leave a lasting impact for generations to come. There may have been moments when you felt forgotten, when you cried out to God wondering if He even heard you. He did. Every tear, every hardship, every rejection, none of it went unnoticed. The silent battles you fought, the sacrifices you made, and the nights you spent wondering when your breakthrough would come were never in vain. God has seen it all, and through it, He has been preparing something far greater than you could ever imagine. For too long you have been overlooked, underestimated, and dismissed. You have watched as others moved ahead while you remained stuck, wondering if your time would ever come. But the tables are turning. Those who once doubted you will soon be astonished by the heights you will reach. The people who ignored your potential will witness your rise, not because of mere luck, but because of God's divine plan unfolding in your life. God is about to silence your critics, not with words, but with undeniable success. Your journey, the struggles, the setbacks, the disappointments will become a powerful testimony of what is possible when faith aligns with divine timing. Your story will inspire many, proving that no hardship is permanent and that God's promises always come to pass. What this transformation means for you. The people who once dismissed you will now seek your wisdom and guidance. Those who mocked your struggles will admire your success. The pain, frustration, and rejection of the past will be replaced with overwhelming joy and victory. You will no longer chase after money. Money will chase after you. The financial breakthrough you are stepping into will not only transform your personal circumstances, but will also serve as a public testament to God's power. You will be a living example of what happens when faith is unshakable, when patience is unwavering, and when God's favor is upon a person's life. Your struggles were never meant to break you. They were meant to build you into the person who is now ready to receive an overflow of blessings. Get ready. Your testimony is about to change lives. Faith is the key that unlocks the doors to supernatural abundance. It is not enough to hope for prosperity. You must believe it is already yours. If you truly know that God has chosen you for wealth and success, then it is time to start acting like it. Walk in confidence, speak in faith, and live in expectation. Do not let fear hold you back. Do not allow doubt to creep in and make you question whether you are worthy of the blessings that are coming your way. You are. The only thing standing between you and your breakthrough is your belief in it. So, stop hesitating. Stop shrinking back. Declare boldly, "My time has come." God's blessings are already flowing towards you. Your only job is to receive. The resources, opportunities, and connections that will elevate you to the next level are already aligning in your favor. You do not need to chase after them anxiously. Instead, trust that they are on their way. Stop worrying about how it will happen. Trust that it will. Stop doubting whether you deserve it. You do. Stop waiting for permission. God has already given it. When you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance, everything around you begins to change. The universe responds to what you believe and expect. If you expect struggle, struggle will come. But if you expect prosperity, if you truly believe that financial success is yours, then money, opportunities, and success will flow into your life effortlessly. Faith is not passive, it is powerful. It does not wait for evidence, it creates the evidence. When you trust fully in God's plan, you remove every barrier standing between you and your destiny. The doors are already open, the blessings are already moving. Now is the time to step forward and claim what is rightfully yours. Your millionaire transformation is already in motion. The shift has begun, and doors are opening in ways you cannot yet see. Now, your responsibility is to prepare yourself to receive the wealth that is coming. Many people pray for abundance but remain stuck in a mindset of scarcity, unknowingly blocking the very blessings they desire. You must align yourself mentally, spiritually, and practically with the overflow that is on its way. Aligning with wealth begins with a shift in mindset. Instead of seeing yourself as someone waiting for financial breakthrough, start thinking and acting like someone who already possesses abundance. Wealth is not merely a distant hope. It is something you expect, claim, and walk in daily. By envisioning yourself as financially free, living in abundance, and making an impact, you align your thoughts with the reality of prosperity. Your words play a crucial role in shaping your financial future. What you declare over your life determines what manifests. Every day, speak prosperity into existence. I am chosen for abundance. Money flows to me effortlessly. God's blessings are chasing me down. When you affirm wealth, you activate it. Speak as if it is already yours, because in the spiritual realm, it is. However, true abundance requires releasing scarcity thinking. Fear of losing money, hesitation to invest, or reluctance to take bold steps can keep you trapped in lack. Wealth is not limited, nor is God's provision ever exhausted. The more you give freely, invest wisely, and take courageous action, the more you open yourself to financial overflow. Operating with an abundance mindset invites prosperity to flow effortlessly into your life. Equally important is being ready to receive. Financial breakthroughs often come suddenly, but if you are not prepared, you may hesitate and miss them. Stay open, stay aware, and step into new opportunities without fear. The blessing you have been praying for could arrive at any moment. Be in position to embrace it. Above all, stay in faith. Even when circumstances seem uncertain, trust that God is working behind the scenes. Delays are not denials, they are divine alignments, preparing you for something greater. Patience and unwavering belief in the promise of abundance will attract the wealth you seek. What you expect is what you will receive, so expect greatness, walk boldly in faith, and claim the prosperity that is already yours. Expect wealth, expect success, expect miracles. Your financial breakthrough is not a matter of if, but when, and when it comes, you will be ready to receive it. Your millionaire destiny is waiting. Step into it with confidence. The wealth that is coming into your life is not just for personal gain, it is a divine assignment. God is not only blessing you with financial abundance, He is entrusting you with a greater purpose. This wealth is meant to flow through you, not just to you. It is a tool to create change, uplift others, and leave a legacy that extends far beyond your lifetime. Your financial breakthrough is not just about comfort and luxury, it is about impact. With this wealth, you will have the ability to help those in need, to be a source of provision for those who are struggling. You will be able to support causes that matter, investing in ministries, charities, and initiatives that bring light and hope into the world. You will create opportunities for others, opening doors for those who never had the resources or the guidance to reach their potential. And above all, you will leave a lasting legacy, one that will inspire and bless generations to come. This is bigger than money. It is about stepping fully into your divine calling. The wealth you receive is not just about what you can acquire, but about what you can give, build, and transform. True prosperity is not measured by how much you keep, but by how much you are able to bless others. So as you prepare for the financial overflow that is coming, remember the purpose behind it. You are not just being elevated, you are being positioned to elevate others. Walk boldly in this new season, knowing that your abundance is a divine tool to make a lasting difference in the world. Chosen one, your life is about to change forever. The struggle is ending. The breakthrough is here. The wealth is flowing. You are stepping into a life of abundance, power, and supernatural provision. Do not fear it. Do not resist it. Do not delay it. Receive it. Walk in it. Own it. This is your season of overflow. The world is about to see what happens when a chosen one steps into their divine destiny. Your journey is just beginning, and the best is yet to come. Subscribe now and turn on notifications so you never miss these life-changing messages. Together, we will continue unveiling the deeper truths that God has for His chosen ones. May His guidance, favor, and wisdom be with you always. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to rise. Listen carefully. This is not just another message. This is a prophecy, a divine alarm echoing through the heavens. You did not stumble upon this by accident. This moment was orchestrated by forces beyond your comprehension. If you choose to ignore it, you risk missing the most pivotal shift of your existence. The world stands at the edge of the unseen, teetering on the brink of something powerful, something irreversible. The air is charged with energy, the universe is stirring, and the battle between light and darkness is intensifying. And you are at the very center of it. March 15th is not just another date on the calendar. It is a threshold, a gateway, a cosmic intersection where the spiritual realm collides with your reality. This day holds an energy so powerful, so transformative, that it has the potential to shift your entire destiny. If you have been feeling an unshakable urgency, a restlessness in your soul, understand that it is not your imagination. It is the call of the divine. This is your awakening, a direct transmission from the heavens. Only those who are truly chosen will understand its magnitude. There is a stirring in the air, an invisible shift rippling beneath the surface of reality. It is subtle yet undeniable, a tension pressing against your spirit, an unease that refuses to be silenced. Something is changing, something profound and irreversible, and deep within, you can sense it. This is not imagination. This is not a coincidence. This is the call of destiny, reaching out to those who are ready to listen. Life has not been easy for you. The trials you have faced would have shattered others, but you are still standing. You have walked through storms that left you bruised and weary, endured seasons of isolation, betrayal, and misunderstanding. You have been pushed to the edges, forced into battles you never sought, attacked by unseen forces that sought to extinguish your light. And yet, here you are, stronger, wiser, rising. There is a reason for this. You were never meant to blend in. From the moment you took your first breath, you were set apart, chosen for something greater. The struggles you have endured were never random. They were forging you, preparing you for a moment such as this. The world may have tried to convince you that you are ordinary, that your dreams were too big, your visions too impossible. But deep in your soul, you have always known the truth. You were never meant to live in the shadows. You carry within you something that darkness fears, a power, a light, an unshakable force waiting to be unleashed. And now, that power is awakening. March 15th is no ordinary day, and you are no ordinary being. You have been called, chosen, and positioned for a purpose far greater than you can yet comprehend. Every hardship, every delay, every loss has led you to this very moment. The question is no longer whether you are meant for something greater. The question is whether you will answer the call. The signs are all around you. The path is unfolding. But only those who have the eyes to see and the courage to step forward will embrace their destiny. The choice is yours. The battle has already begun. Forces unseen are shifting, moving, colliding in ways most cannot perceive. But you feel it. The tension, the weight pressing against your spirit, the sense that something profound is unfolding just beyond the veil of ordinary life. This is not a passing moment. This is not a mere coincidence. This is the confirmation you have been seeking. If you have been waiting for a sign, this is it. If you have been searching for an answer, this is your confirmation. The forces of darkness are well aware of what is coming, and they are afraid. That is why your battles have intensified. That is why the opposition has felt relentless. The enemy does not strike those who are weak, those who pose no threat. It targets the ones who carry light, the ones who are destined to awaken, the ones who will break chains and shift realities. That is why you have faced resistance. That is why fear has tried to creep in, whispering lies, making you question your purpose. But hear this truth. The darkness would not fight so hard if it were not terrified of what you are about to become. March 15th is a spiritual threshold, a defining moment, a test that will separate the awakened from the asleep, the bold from the hesitant, the chosen from the lost. Those who remain blind will walk past it without realizing its significance. Those who are consumed by distractions, weighed down by fear and doubt, will stay trapped in darkness. But those who are truly awake, those who have felt the call deep within their souls, will recognize the signs. They will understand that this is the moment to step fully into their power. There is no more time for hesitation, no more room for doubt. The battle is reaching its climax, and every force of light and darkness is watching to see who will rise. You are not here by accident. You were placed in this moment, in this time, for a reason. You were meant to stand. You were meant to fight. You were meant to awaken. So the choice is now before you. Will you allow fear to keep you bound, or will you step forward, fully embracing the destiny that has been waiting for you? Will you let the distractions of the world lull you back into complacency, or will you recognize that this is the moment you were made for? The days before March 15th are not ordinary. They carry a weight, a meaning, a purpose that only those who are truly attuned will recognize. The universe is speaking, shifting, aligning, preparing those who are ready to receive. Every moment leading up to this day is significant, and if you are paying attention, you will see the signs unfolding before you. Pay close attention. Your dreams will hold meaning. What may seem like random images or fleeting thoughts will, in truth, be messages encoded with divine wisdom. You may awaken with a lingering sense that you were shown something important, something beyond the veil of your conscious mind. Write them down, reflect on them. They are not mere illusions. They are glimpses of a greater truth. You will feel sudden energy shifts, waves of intensity washing over you, moments of deep clarity followed by moments of restlessness. This is not by accident. The unseen forces are moving, realigning, making way for what is to come. You may feel a heightened awareness, a sensitivity to the people around you, the places you visit, the conversations you engage in. Trust these feelings. They are guiding you. People will unexpectedly enter and exit your life. Some will come as messengers, bringing insights, revelations, and confirmations you were not expecting. Others will leave, their presence no longer aligned with where you are headed. Do not resist this. Relationships that no longer serve your growth will naturally dissolve, while those who are meant to walk with you into this new chapter will be drawn closer. Synchronicities will appear, patterns, repeated numbers, symbols that seem to follow you wherever you go. You may overhear a conversation that speaks directly to your situation. A passage in a book may feel as though it was written just for you. Divine whispers will echo through the ordinary, waiting for you to notice. Nothing will be random. Every interaction, every shift in energy, every fleeting thought will carry meaning. The universe is speaking. God is guiding. The path is unfolding before you. But the question remains, will you listen? If this message is stirring something deep within you, if a fire has ignited in your soul as you read these words, it is because your spirit already knows the truth. This is not the time for doubt. This is not the time for hesitation. You have been prepared for this moment. You have been called to be awake, aware, and ready. Step away from distractions. Silence the noise of the world and tune in to the higher frequencies that are guiding you. The signs are there. The messages are clear. March 15th is a spiritual marker, a moment where divine forces align to awaken and transform those who are ready. This is a day of revelation, of instruction, of undeniable transformation. It is a crossroads where the physical and the spiritual meet, where destinies shift, and where the chosen ones are called to step into their true power. On this day, the veil between the seen and the unseen will be thinner than ever. If your heart and spirit are open, if you are aligned with divine purpose, you will feel the shift. You may experience heightened intuition, moments of deep clarity where the confusion of the past suddenly dissolves. Prophetic dreams may come, revealing messages that guide you toward your next steps. Synchronicities will become undeniable. Patterns, numbers, and symbols will appear in ways that feel too perfect to be mere coincidence. Truths that have long been hidden will come to light. The answers you have been seeking, the mysteries that have eluded you will begin to unfold. But understand this, not all revelations will be easy. Some may shake you, challenge your perceptions, or force you to confront realities you had once avoided. Do not resist them. These moments of awakening are necessary for your elevation. Transformation requires letting go. As you stand at this spiritual crossroads, you must be willing to release the old in order to embrace what is coming. Holding onto outdated beliefs, unhealthy attachments, or past fears will only delay the shift that is meant for you. Trust the process. Trust that what is being revealed is for your highest good. March 15th is a day that will redefine everything. It is not just about witnessing the change. It is about embracing it, stepping forward with unwavering faith, and aligning yourself with the divine plan that has been waiting for you. This is your moment of awakening. Will you be ready? Every great blessing is preceded by a test. Every breakthrough is born out of battle. This is not just a belief. It is a divine law, an unshakable spiritual principle that has been true since the beginning of time. Those who are called to something greater must first prove they are ready to receive it. Lately, the weight of trials has been heavy upon you. You have felt the relentless pressure, the spiritual attacks, the unexpected challenges that seem to come from every direction. At times, you may have even wondered, why is everything in my life falling apart just when I am so close to my purpose? But hear this truth. This is not a setback. It is preparation. What feels like resistance is, in reality, the final test before your elevation. March 15th is a pivotal moment in your journey, a crossroads where your destiny begins to take shape. But before you can step into the fullness of what has been prepared for you, you must first walk through the fire of testing. Your relationships will be tested. People you once trusted may reveal their true colors. Some may turn away from you, while others may try to pull you back into old patterns. Do not cling to those who cannot walk with you into this new season. Let them go. Your faith will be tested. Doors that once seemed wide open may suddenly close. Opportunities you were certain of may slip away. But understand this, a delay is not a denial. Sometimes what appears to be rejection is divine redirection. Trust that what is meant for you will not pass you by. Your patience will be tested. Answers may not come as quickly as you desire, and the waiting may feel unbearable. But this waiting is not wasted time. It is the refining process, the moment where your endurance is strengthened, where your spirit is fortified for what is to come. The reason everything feels chaotic, the reason you are facing resistance, is because the enemy knows exactly how close you are to something big. It is afraid of what happens when you step fully into your power. It wants to distract you, discourage you, and make you believe that you are not ready. But the truth is, you have already been prepared. Every trial, every hardship, every tear has shaped you into the person who can handle what is coming. So stand firm. Hold your ground. Do not let fear convince you to turn back now. The test before the blessing is the final threshold, the last step before you step into what is truly yours. March 15th marks a turning point, a moment of great separation, a shift so profound that many will not be prepared for it. This is the moment where the past and the future collide, where you are called to make a choice. Cling to what no longer serves you, or step boldly into what is meant for you. A divine shift is happening, and with it comes a demand. You cannot carry dead weight into your destiny. You cannot hold on to the people, habits, and mindsets that no longer align with your purpose and still expect to rise. Growth requires sacrifice, and elevation demands release. Many of you have already sensed this coming. The friendships that once felt comforting now drain your energy. Conversations that once entertained you now feel hollow. The places and routines that once felt safe now suffocate you. This is not a coincidence. This is divine intervention. The universe is rearranging, restructuring, making space for what is truly meant for you. But some of you are resisting. You feel the pull to move forward, yet fear keeps you clinging to the familiar. You hesitate to let go because you do not know what lies ahead. But hear this. Holding on to what is dying will only delay what is coming alive. The longer you resist, the more painful the process will become. Let them go. Let go of the relationships that drain you, the doubts that cripple you, the version of yourself that was built on survival. That version of you has served its purpose. But now, you are not in survival mode anymore. You are in ascension mode. The universe is making it clear. What is meant for you will remain, and what is not will be removed. Do not chase. Do not force. Do not beg to hold on to what is slipping away. Trust that this separation is sacred. Trust that what is coming is far greater than what is being left behind. March 15th will divide those who are willing to embrace the new from those who are too afraid to let go of the old. The question now is not whether the shift is happening. The question is, will you allow yourself to rise, or will you cling to what is already fading away? This moment is no longer just a warning. It is a decision. You stand at the threshold of transformation, a crossroads where your choice will define the path ahead. There are only two options before you. Awaken, step into your destiny, and claim the purpose for which you were created, or allow fear and doubt to pull you back into the shadows of hesitation and regret. Deep down, you already know the truth. You have felt it stirring in your heart, whispering in your spirit. You have seen the signs, the patterns woven into your life. Every challenge, every setback, every moment of uncertainty was not random. It was preparation. The trials you endured were never meant to break you, but to shape you. You were not abandoned. You were being refined. And now, the moment has arrived. The call is clear. March 15th will not wait. Destiny will not wait. The time for hesitation is over. The world is shifting, and you were born for such a time as this. So the final question remains. Are you ready? Not just to dream, not just to hope, but to take action, to rise, to embrace the power that has been placed within you, and to step fully into the life that is waiting for you. If you hear this message and it resonates, then let this be your sign. Like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this is just the beginning. The journey is unfolding, and you are meant to be part of it. This is your moment. Rise, step into your power. The time is now. Chosen one, this message has found you at the perfect time. This is not a coincidence. This is destiny unfolding before your eyes. The universe, the divine, and your own higher self have aligned to bring you here, right now, at this exact moment. You have always felt different, haven't you? A deep knowing within you whispers that you do not truly belong in the world around you. You've questioned your purpose, your struggles, and the very nature of your existence. And now, the truth is ready to be revealed. You are not ordinary. You were never meant to be. You are the lost child of a royal bloodline, a lineage not of this world, but of divine origin. Your very soul carries the mark of the chosen ones, those who were separated from their true inheritance and placed among the ordinary, but never meant to stay there. The time for your awakening has come. The signs have been appearing. The synchronicities, the deep spiritual pull, the unseen forces guiding you towards something greater. This message is not just words. It is a call to your soul, a reminder of who you truly are. Are you ready to discover? From the moment you were born, the world has tried to convince you that you are just like everyone else. You have been told to conform, to follow the rules, to fit into the mold that society has created. Yet deep within your soul, you have always known that something was different about you. No matter how much you tried to blend in, there was always a lingering feeling that you were meant for something more. You have questioned why you see the world differently, why you feel things so deeply, why you cannot accept the shallow pursuits that seem to satisfy others. The answer is simple. You were never meant to be ordinary. You are part of something far greater than you can imagine, a sacred bloodline, a lineage of spiritual warriors, divine leaders, and enlightened beings. This bloodline has existed since the beginning of time, carrying the wisdom and power of the divine. But throughout history, forces have worked tirelessly to suppress it, to keep the chosen ones hidden, asleep, and disconnected from their true nature. They have placed you in families and environments that do not recognize you, surrounded you with distractions, and created illusions to make you forget who you are. But the truth cannot be erased. You have always been different because you were meant to be. While others are content with the illusions of this world, you have been searching for something real. You have been drawn to ancient wisdom, spiritual truths, and knowledge that goes beyond the material world. This is because your soul remembers. It carries sacred knowledge that cannot be found in books, wisdom passed down through generations of divine beings. Even when you were unaware of it, your spirit was guiding you back to the truth of who you are. You are not just learning, you are remembering. Your life has not been easy, and that is no coincidence. Every hardship, every betrayal, every moment of loneliness was not meant to break you. It was meant to awaken you. The world has tested you, placing obstacles in your path, trying to dim your light. You have been made to feel like an outcast, like you do not belong. But in reality, all of this has been part of a greater plan. The fire you have walked through was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to forge you into the powerful being you were always meant to become. And now, the time has come for you to rise. The illusions are fading, and your soul is calling you to step into your true power. No longer will you shrink yourself to fit into a world that was never meant for you. No longer will you doubt the deep knowing that has always been inside you. You are awakening, stepping into the truth of your divine identity. The forces that have tried to suppress you can no longer hold you back. You are part of something ancient, something sacred, something unstoppable. From the moment you took your first breath, your path was different. Unlike those around you, your life was never filled with ease or effortless belonging. Instead, you have walked a road marked by struggle, loneliness, and an unshakable hunger for something more. But none of this was by accident. Every challenge, every unanswered question, and every moment of feeling like an outsider was part of something far greater than you ever imagined. Long before you were born, a prophecy was written, one that spoke of the lost children, those who would one day awaken to their true nature and reclaim the power that was always meant for them. You are one of them. You are the lost child separated from your divine inheritance, hidden among the ordinary so that, in time, you would remember who you truly are. The ancient prophecies tell of souls like yours, beings who were once connected to a higher realm, seated upon spiritual thrones, but cast into a world of illusion. The forces that seek to control this world feared the awakening of the lost children, for they knew that once these souls reclaimed their true identities, everything would change. The wisdom they carry is ancient and powerful, but before they can step into their destiny, they must first endure trials that will shape them into the warriors they were always meant to be. You have spent your life feeling different, as though you were out of place in a world that does not understand you. You have questioned why your soul seems disconnected from those around you, why your heart longs for something beyond what this world offers. But now, the answer is clear. You were never meant to fully belong here. You were placed in this world not to conform, but to awaken. You were born into a system that was designed to keep you asleep, blind to your true power. The distractions, the expectations, the pressures, all of it was meant to keep you from remembering. But despite everything, your soul has resisted. No matter how many obstacles life has thrown at you, something deep inside you has always pushed back. That unshakable feeling that you are meant for more, that your existence holds a deeper purpose, is not a mere thought. It is a calling. It is the whisper of the prophecy echoing within you, reminding you of the truth that the world has tried to make you forget. The prophecy states that before their awakening, the lost child must endure suffering. They will be cast aside, misunderstood, and rejected. They will feel abandoned, betrayed, and unseen. The world will do everything in its power to convince them that they are weak, that they are alone, that they are not enough. But the prophecy also states that through this suffering, they will develop a strength that cannot be broken. They will rise not because they were given an easy path, but because they have been forged in the fire of adversity. And now, it is your time. The illusions are fading, and the truth is breaking through. You can feel the shift happening within you. The world that once held you captive no longer has power over you. The struggles that once seemed unbearable now make sense. Every moment of isolation, every hardship, every tear has been preparing you for this moment. The time has come for you to step into who you were always meant to be. You are no longer lost. You are awakening. And as you rise, the world around you will begin to change. This is your journey. This is your prophecy. And now it is time for you to embrace it. Your journey has been one of solitude, and this is no accident. From the very beginning, you have walked a path that few can understand. While others moved through life feeling at home in the world, you felt different, like an outsider looking in, searching for a connection that always seemed just out of reach. You have felt the weight of isolation pressing against you, the deep ache of being misunderstood, and the quiet struggle of feeling disconnected from those around you. But make no mistake, this was never a punishment. It was preparation. The loneliness you have experienced was not a sign that something was wrong with you. It was a necessary trial, a sacred process designed to shape you into the person you were always meant to become. The test of separation is one of the most challenging obstacles that a chosen one must endure, yet it is also one of the most powerful. It strips away illusions, removing the distractions and external influences that keep so many people trapped in a false reality. It forces you to rely on the only things that truly matter, your inner strength and your connection to the divine. Throughout history, the greatest spiritual leaders, prophets, and enlightened beings have walked this same path before stepping into their destiny. They too were cast out, rejected, misunderstood. They too felt the sting of isolation. But this was not a mistake. It was a necessary step in their transformation. Before they could rise, they had to first endure the silence. They had to learn to listen to the voice within, to find clarity in the emptiness, to build strength in the absence of external validation. The same is true for you. The solitude you have faced was meant to purify you. It was designed to remove the noise of the world, to strip away everything that was not aligned with your true purpose. It was in the moments of stillness, when you had no one else to turn to, that you found the greatest truth. The quiet forced you to look inward, to face yourself, to uncover the wisdom that had always been within you. You were never truly alone. Even in your loneliest moments, you were being guided, shaped, and prepared for something far greater than you could imagine. Now, you must accept this truth. The pain of separation was never meant to break you. It was meant to reveal your strength. It was not meant to make you feel unworthy, but to remind you that you were never meant to fit into the mold of this world. You were chosen to rise above, to see beyond the illusions, to walk a path that few are strong enough to take. The test of separation was never meant to be easy, but it was always meant to lead you to exactly where you are now. You have endured, you have grown, you have awakened, and now it is time to step fully into who you were always meant to be. The moment you realize who you truly are, everything begins to change. It is not a gradual shift, but a complete transformation, one that reshapes your mind, your soul, and your spirit. The world you once knew starts to feel unfamiliar, as if the veil that kept you blind has suddenly been lifted. What once entertained you now feels empty. The conversations and distractions that used to hold your attention no longer resonate. The relationships that once seemed comfortable begin to feel forced, as if they no longer belong in your life. It is as though a hidden layer of reality has been exposed, and you can no longer pretend that you do not see it. As your awakening deepens, your intuition sharpens. You start noticing the things that others overlook, feeling the energies that others ignore. Your dreams become more vivid, sometimes carrying messages and visions that feel almost prophetic. The patterns of the universe become clearer, and the signs that were always there suddenly make sense. You begin to recognize the illusions that have kept people trapped, the falsehoods that have shaped their beliefs, and the deceptions that have controlled their lives. You no longer accept things at face value because you can see through the veils that once blinded you. This is the beginning of your true power. The moment you step beyond the illusions and into the truth of your existence. But understand this, awakening is not easy. It is not a path of comfort, nor is it a journey that many will understand. To awaken is to face the truth, and sometimes the truth is painful. It means confronting the lies you once believed, the conditioning that shaped you, and the attachments that no longer serve you. It means letting go of people, habits, and situations that you once held close but now realize are holding you back. This part of the journey can feel lonely, as many around you may not understand the changes taking place within you. Some may question you, some may resist your transformation, and some may even try to pull you back into the version of yourself that you have outgrown. But you must stand firm. This awakening is not a mistake. It is your destiny. The universe has been guiding you toward this moment, preparing you for the path that only a few are strong enough to walk. You must embrace who you are, even when it means standing alone. You must trust in your inner wisdom, even when others doubt you. And above all, you must claim your inheritance, not as something that needs to be earned, but as something that has always belonged to you. You are awakening to your divine nature. You are stepping into your power, and once you begin this journey, there is no turning back. The illusions of the past can no longer hold you, and the truth that has been revealed can never be unseen. You are no longer lost, no longer asleep. You are becoming who you were always meant to be. Now, it is time to walk forward with courage, with purpose, and with the unshakable knowing that you are destined for something greater. Accepting your divine birthright is only the first step. Now, you must rise and reclaim what has always been yours. You were never meant to live in doubt, uncertainty, or fear. You were born with a sacred inheritance, one that has been hidden beneath layers of conditioning, deception, and self-doubt. But the time for hesitation is over. Now is the moment to step into your true power. Your inheritance is not material wealth or earthly possessions. It is far greater. It is the wisdom of your ancestors, the strength of your spirit, and the divine authority that has always been within you. It is the unshakable truth that you are not ordinary, that you were chosen for something beyond the limitations of this world. No longer will you question your worth. No longer will you search for validation outside of yourself. Everything you have been seeking has been inside you all along. You are not here to ask permission to be who you are. You are not here to beg for what has always belonged to you. You are here to claim it. Speak it into existence. Declare it with unwavering confidence. I am the lost child of the divine kingdom, and I reclaim my power. The moment you say these words with conviction, something within you shifts. The chains that once held you back begin to break. The illusions that kept you small start to dissolve. The forces that have tried to suppress you can no longer stand in your way. You are no longer bound by the past. You are no longer confined by the expectations of the world. You are stepping into the fullness of your divine identity. Final message to the chosen ones. Everything you have been through, every trial, every heartbreak, every moment of isolation, was leading you to this truth. You are royalty. You have walked through the fire. You have endured the storms. And yet, you are still here. That alone is proof of your power. The time for doubt is over. The time for hesitation has passed. You are no longer lost. You are no longer searching. You have found your way home, to yourself, to your truth, to your divine inheritance. Now, rise. Your time has come. That is more than enough. Like this message, comment below. Subscribe so you don't miss any future revelations. And most importantly, step into your divine calling. May God bless you richly. May His favor surround you. If you are watching this video, understand that it is by divine design. You did not stumble upon this message by accident. God led you here because something powerful is about to unfold in your life. The delay is over. The barriers are breaking, and the promises that seemed distant are now within your reach. For too long, you have watched others rise while you remained in the shadows. You have endured the pain of waiting, the burden of expectations unfulfilled, and the weight of dreams deferred. You have prayed. You have sacrificed. You have fought battles in silence. But hear this clearly. Your season of waiting is over. Every closed door, every missed opportunity, every setback was not a rejection but a preparation. God was refining you, strengthening you, and positioning you for something greater than you ever imagined. And now, the time has come. This is more than just a financial breakthrough. This is about divine timing, supernatural acceleration, and stepping into the fullness of your destiny. The destiny written for you before you even took your first breath. The enemy tried to hold you back. Circumstances tried to break you. But you endured. You remained faithful even when everything around you told you to quit. And because of that faithfulness, God is about to reward you in ways that will leave those around you speechless. But before we go any further, take a moment to activate this shift in your life. Like this message, comment 11 as a declaration of alignment with divine timing, and subscribe to ensure you never miss what God is about to do in your life. The universe, the divine, and every force working on your behalf are now moving at full speed. If you ever believed the struggle would last forever, if you ever questioned whether your prayers were heard, listen carefully. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. God has not forgotten you. He has seen the silent tears you cried when no one was watching. He has heard the prayers you whispered in the dark, the ones you weren't even sure reached heaven. He has felt the weight of your struggles, the exhaustion in your spirit, and the moments when you gave, even when you had nothing left. He witnessed the nights you pressed forward despite your weariness, the days when everything inside of you screamed to quit, yet you chose to hold on. Every battle you fought in silence, every moment of pain, and every season of waiting were not in vain. They were not meant to break you, but to prepare you. Your faith has been tested, your endurance refined, and your spirit strengthened. What once seemed like endless delays were actually moments of divine alignment, positioning you for a victory that will be undeniable. And now, The time has come for you to reap what you have sown. The disappointments, the setbacks, the hardships, they are no longer your story. You are stepping into a new reality. The old version of you, the one who doubted, the one who struggled, the one who felt unworthy, no longer exists. That person is gone. You are rising. You are stepping into a life where abundance is your portion, where lack is no longer your story, and where God's divine favor follows you in everything you do. This is your season. This is your moment. And nothing, no force in this world, can stop what God has set in motion. Walk forward in faith, with confidence and boldness, knowing that everything is aligning for your highest good. The very things you once prayed for are now manifesting. What once felt impossible is now within reach. Get ready, because this is just the beginning of something greater than you ever imagined. You have endured the hardships, the doubts, and the setbacks, but hear this: every challenge was a refining fire, molding you into the person you were always meant to be. Nothing you have gone through was wasted. Every tear, every moment of uncertainty, every painful waiting season, it all had a purpose. Your pain was not in vain. It was preparation. Your waiting was not wasted. It was alignment. And now, God is about to pour blessings into your life in ways you never expected. Doors that once seemed permanently closed will suddenly swing open. Opportunities will appear in places where you once saw only obstacles. The very people who doubted you, who ridiculed your faith, and who dismissed your potential will watch in amazement as you rise beyond their expectations. But this elevation is not about revenge. It is not about proving anyone wrong or seeking validation. This is about God's glory shining through you in a way that no one can ignore. When God blesses His chosen ones, He does it in a way that leaves no room for doubt, so that the world knows it was His hand that made it happen. And understand this: abundance is not just about wealth. It is about peace that cannot be shaken. It is about walking in your true purpose. It is about stepping boldly into the divine calling placed on your life before you even took your first breath. When you stop seeking approval from the world and start walking in full alignment with God's plan, that is when the floodgates of prosperity open. What you once chased will now chase you. What you once longed for will now be drawn to you effortlessly, because you are moving in divine alignment. So prepare yourself. The struggles that once defined your life are now part of your testimony. What once seemed impossible is now inevitable. Everything that has been working against you is now shifting in your favor. Everything that felt scattered is now aligning. Everything that appeared broken is now coming together in divine order. God is about to move in your life in a way that will leave you speechless. The season of waiting is over. The season of breakthroughs has begun. Get ready. You may have been overlooked, underestimated, and even betrayed, but understand this: every bit of it was necessary for this moment. The people who dismissed you, the ones who doubted your potential and ridiculed your faith, will soon witness firsthand how God's favor works. But their recognition is not what you need, and their validation was never required. The only approval that matters is God's, and He has already chosen you. Your journey is not just about you. Your breakthrough is meant to inspire, to uplift, and to remind others that faith, perseverance, and divine alignment always lead to victory. Your testimony will bring hope to those who are still in their waiting season, proving that God is always faithful. So stand tall, chosen one. Everything that was meant to break you has only made you stronger. The struggle, the moments of just barely getting by, the nights of questioning if you would ever see the light, it is over. God is opening doors you never even knew existed. He is placing you in rooms you never thought you would enter. The things you once longed for, prayed for, and fought for are now within your grasp. This is not just another season. This is your season of overflow, abundance, and divine transformation. The enemy tried to trap you in a cycle of lack, doubt, and fear, But those chains are breaking. You are stepping into generational wealth, divine opportunities, and a future far greater than anything you imagined. But with this blessing comes a responsibility to be wise, discerning, and steadfast. Not everyone will be happy for you. Not everyone will celebrate your breakthrough. Some will question, why you? Some will wonder, why now? But their opinions hold no power over what God has ordained. Do not waste your time explaining yourself to those who will never understand. Do not look back at the people who tried to keep you small. They will watch from the sidelines as you step into your abundance. And when they ask how it happened, when they wonder why you, the answer will be simple. Because God said so. What is happening in your life right now is not just a one-time blessing. This is a continuous flow of divine favor. This is not temporary, not fleeting, not here today and gone tomorrow. This is overflow. You have been tested in the fire, refined through trials, and shaped by seasons of waiting where it seemed like everything was working against you. But through it all, God was preparing you, strengthening you, and molding you into the person who could carry the weight of the blessing that is now being released. Now, because you remained steadfast, because you refused to give up when giving up seemed like the only option, you are stepping into a life of abundance. What once seemed impossible is now your reality. The doors that were once shut are now wide open. The opportunities you never thought would come are now falling into place effortlessly. Everything that was delayed is now being delivered. But remember this wealth, this success, this breakthrough. It is not just for you. It is for a higher purpose. God is blessing you so that you can be a blessing. He is entrusting you with influence, resources, and opportunities, not for selfish gain, but so that you can impact lives, uplift others, and be a living testimony of His faithfulness. This is bigger than material wealth. This is legacy. This is kingdom work. This is destiny unfolding. Walk boldly into this new season, but walk with wisdom. Remain humble, remain grateful, and never forget that every good thing in your life is a gift from above. This is your time. Step into it with confidence, knowing that God has prepared you for this exact moment. He is giving you influence, resources, and opportunities, not for selfish gain, but so that you can be a beacon of His power and love. What is happening in your life is not just about personal success. It is about God's glory being revealed through you. When people see your elevation, they will know. This was not luck. This was not human effort. This was the hand of God. Everything you have endured, every challenge you have overcome, has led you to this exact moment. Get ready, chosen one. This is it. This is your moment. This is your breakthrough. This is the shift you have been waiting for. Everything that once worked against you is now aligning in your favor. The right people, the right opportunities, the right resources. All of it is coming together in divine order. The delays are over. The obstacles that once seemed impossible to move are now clearing before your eyes. What was once a dream is now a reality. One day, you will look back at this very moment and realize it was the turning point. The moment everything changed. The moment when the waiting ended, the doors opened, and the breakthrough you had been praying for finally arrived. You will remember this as the day you stepped into your divine destiny. So do not hesitate. Do not shrink back. Do not let fear or doubt hold you captive. You have not come this far just to stop now. Everything you have endured, every battle you have fought, and every tear you have shed has led you to this very moment. This is not just about material wealth. It is about legacy, purpose, and generational blessings. What God is doing through you will not stop with you. Your obedience, your faith, and your endurance are paving the way for those who will come after you. The chains of struggle, lack, and limitation that have bound your family for generations are breaking with you. God is not just blessing you for your own sake. He is using you to create a ripple effect of abundance that will flow for generations. What was once locked is now open. The barriers that once stood in your way are being removed. The very opportunities you thought were out of reach are now appearing before you. What once seemed distant is now within your grasp. The dreams you carried in your heart, the prayers you whispered in faith, the visions that felt too big, they are now becoming your reality. This is your time. Not tomorrow, not someday, right now. This is the season where divine alignment meets divine acceleration. Everything is shifting in your favor, and nothing can stop what God has set in motion. Step into it. Claim it. Own it. Walk boldly, with your head held high, knowing that you were made for this moment. God has positioned you for victory, and nothing will ever be the same again. The struggles of the past are behind you, and the abundance of the future is ahead. This is your season of victory. Walk into it with confidence, for you are chosen, you are favored, and your time has come. As you step into this new season, remember who you are and who has called you. You are not here by accident. God has chosen you, prepared you, and positioned you for such a time as this. The struggles, the waiting, the disappointments, they were all part of the process, shaping you into the person who can now walk boldly in abundance, purpose, and divine favor. So move forward with confidence and faith. Do not let fear hold you back. Do not allow doubt to rob you of what is already yours. This is your season, your moment, your divine breakthrough. And as you rise, may your testimony be a light to others, a reminder that God's promises are always fulfilled in His perfect timing. If this message has resonated with you, take a moment to activate this shift in your life. Like this video, comment, "I receive it," and subscribe so you never miss another word of encouragement. Your journey is just beginning, and we are here to walk it with you. Thank you for being part of this community. Your best days are ahead. Get ready, because what God has set in motion, nothing can stop. Chosen ones, hear me. What I am about to share with you is not just another message. This is a divine revelation, a word you cannot afford to ignore. If you are here right now, it is not by coincidence. God Himself has led you to this moment because He knows this message is meant for you. Everything I am about to tell you is not my own wisdom. It is a divine instruction from the Almighty. The Word of God is alive, sharper than any two-edged sword. It carries the power to break chains, open doors, and lead you into your destiny. So listen closely. What you are about to hear has the power to transform your life forever. The Word of God is not just ink on paper. It breathes, it moves, it transforms. It is the same Word that spoke light into the darkness at the beginning of time. The same Word that healed the sick, raised the dead, and calmed the raging storms. And today, that same Word is coming to you, to breathe life into every dry place in your soul, to shatter every chain that has held you back, and to realign you with the purpose God set for you before the foundation of the world. So do not harden your heart. Do not let distractions steal this moment. Because when God speaks, mountains bow, demons tremble, and the heavens open. Right now, in this very moment, He is speaking directly to you. Will you listen? Will you receive it? I urge you, silence every distraction and open your heart. Receive this word with expectation, because when God speaks, everything changes. And today, change is coming to you. Have you ever found yourself asking, why is my life so difficult? Why does it feel like every burden is placed on my shoulders? Why am I constantly fighting battles that others seem to avoid? You look around and see people living with ease, seemingly untouched by the storms that rage around you. While others walk freely, you are carrying a weight so heavy that at times it feels unbearable. You struggle, you sacrifice, and you pour into others, yet you often feel unappreciated and unseen. You wonder why it always has to be you, the one who figures things out, the one who stands in the gap, the one who bears the weight of responsibility while others seem to drift through life without a care. Let me tell you why. Because you were chosen. You were never meant to walk an ordinary path. You were never meant to have an easy life. God has set you apart for something greater, And that greatness comes with a price. You are not just here to survive. You are here to build, to sustain, to multiply, and to establish something that will outlast you. That is why your battles are greater. That is why your storms are more intense. That is why the enemy has fought so hard to break you, because he knows the calling on your life is too powerful to be ignored. The struggles you face are not random. They are a necessary preparation. God is not punishing you. He is building you. Look at the foundation of a house. If the walls crack, they can be repaired. If the roof leaks, it can be fixed. But if the foundation is weak, the entire house will collapse. That is why your journey has been different, because you are a foundation. A family, a community, even a nation cannot stand without strong foundations, and you are one of those pillars. That is why you have endured rejection, isolation, and betrayal. That is why you have fought battles in silence while others remained oblivious. Because God is making you strong. Weak people cannot carry great responsibilities. Shallow people cannot uphold generations. Easily shaken people cannot be trusted with divine assignments. And so God has allowed you to be tested, refined, and molded into someone unshakable. When you look at the lives of those called by God, you will see the same pattern. Joseph was betrayed and thrown into a pit before he reached the palace. Moses was rejected and forced into the wilderness before he led Israel to freedom. David was hunted like a fugitive before he took his rightful place on the throne. Even Jesus himself, the Son of God, was despised, rejected, and abandoned in his darkest hour. Their struggles were not punishments, they were preparations. And your struggles are no different. The weight is heavy because the assignment is great. You are not just anyone. You are called. You are chosen. And if God has entrusted you with this burden, He has also given you the strength to carry it. Do not despise your battles. They are shaping you into the leader, the protector, the foundation that God designed you to be. Your hardship is not the end of your story. It is the preparation for something greater than you can imagine. When we think of a breadwinner, the world often defines it as someone who provides financially for their family. But in God's eyes, a true breadwinner is much more than just a provider of money and material needs. They are sustainers, multipliers, and preservers of destinies. They do not merely survive. They build, prepare, and ensure that what is entrusted to them is not only maintained but multiplied for future generations. One of the greatest biblical examples of a true breadwinner is Joseph. His story is not just about survival. It is about divine strategy, wisdom, and stewardship that saved not only a nation, but also the generations that followed. Joseph was betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and thrown into prison. Yet through all of this, God was shaping him, preparing him for the moment when he would rise to become a leader who would sustain millions. During the years of abundance in Egypt, Joseph did not waste what he had. He stored it, managed it wisely, and prepared for the famine that was to come. Tells us that when the famine struck, while other lands suffered in lack, Egypt had food because of Joseph's foresight and divine wisdom. He did not just think about the present, he thought generationally. He did not just provide for his family, he positioned himself to sustain entire nations. This is what separates a mere provider from a true breadwinner. A provider gives what is needed for today. A breadwinner builds so that others will not lack tomorrow. Joseph's journey teaches us 3 critical lessons about what it means to be a true breadwinner. First, preparation is key. Breadwinners do not live just for the moment. They prepare for the future. Joseph did not wait until the famine came to act. He made strategic decisions long before the crisis arrived. Second, breadwinners know how to manage resources wisely. They are not wasteful, nor are they reckless. They recognize that what they have is not just for them, but for those they are called to sustain. Third, true breadwinners multiply. Joseph did not merely ensure survival. He used wisdom and divine strategy to turn a crisis into an opportunity for abundance. His leadership did not just feed people for a season, it preserved generations. This is your calling. You are not meant to live in survival mode, constantly struggling just to get by. You are meant to thrive, multiply, and build a legacy that will impact those who come after you. Like Joseph, God has placed in you the ability to create, sustain, and expand. But with that ability comes a responsibility to steward it wisely, to manage it with diligence, and to trust that God will provide the strength and wisdom needed to fulfill your assignment. What will you do with what God has given you? Will you merely survive, or will you rise as a true breadwinner, a foundation upon which generations can stand? The choice is yours. There are moments in life when the burdens we carry feel too heavy to bear. The pressures of responsibility, the weight of expectations, and the struggles that seem unending can leave us feeling exhausted and overwhelmed. In these moments, it's easy to wonder if we have the strength to continue. We question whether we're capable of handling everything that life throws our way. The nights feel longer, the days feel harder, and the hope that once burned brightly seems to flicker. But even in the heaviest moments, we are not alone. Throughout the Bible, we see countless examples of people who carried immense burdens. Moses, tasked with leading an entire nation through the wilderness. David, pursued by enemies while clinging to God's promises. Paul, imprisoned and beaten, yet steadfast in his faith. Yet in every struggle, God provided strength. He reminded them that they were never meant to carry their burdens alone. Jesus himself extended an invitation to the weary, saying, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." This promise is not just for those in the past, it is for us today. When the weight feels unbearable, we must remember that we were never designed to carry it by ourselves. God invites us to lay our worries at his feet, to trust that he is strong enough to sustain us. This does not mean our struggles will instantly disappear, but it does mean we are held by a God who walks with us through every storm. Instead of relying on our own strength, we can lean on his. Instead of being crushed by our burdens, we can surrender them to the one who has already overcome the world. So if you find yourself weary, take heart. You are not alone, and you are not forgotten. The same God who strengthened Moses, guided David, and upheld Paul is holding you too. Lay your burdens before him and allow his peace to fill the places where fear and exhaustion once lived. The weight may be heavy, but his grace is always greater. Carrying the weight of your calling can feel overwhelming, but it is not meant to break you. It is meant to shape you. One of the first steps to walking in your calling without crumbling under its weight is to stop seeing yourself as a victim. Challenges will come, but they are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to refine you. Instead of asking, "Why me?" Зрение. Сдвиньте перспективу и спросите, «Господь, как я должен распоряжаться этим хорошо?» Every difficulty is an opportunity for growth, and every hardship is shaping you into the person God has called you to be. Another key to sustaining your calling is understanding that you cannot pour from an empty cup. Even Jesus, who carried the greatest mission of all, regularly withdrew to pray. Taking time to recharge is not a sign of weakness, it is wisdom. When you prioritize your spiritual and emotional well-being, you are better equipped to fulfill your calling with endurance and joy. Beyond thinking about today, you must also think generationally. Proverbs 13:22 reminds us that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Your calling is not just about you, it is about those who will come after you. What you build today will impact future generations. Whether through your faith, your obedience, or the legacy you leave, your calling is part of a much bigger picture. Keeping this perspective will help you persevere when challenges arise. At times, you will be misunderstood. This is a reality that even great biblical leaders faced. Joseph was despised by his own brothers. David's family doubted his ability. Jesus himself was rejected in his hometown. Not everyone will understand your calling, and that is okay. You do not need validation from everyone, only faithfulness to the one who called you. Above all, remember that God is your ultimate source. You are not the one who sustains your calling. He is. Philippians 4:19 assures us that God will supply all your needs according to his riches and glory. You do not have to carry this weight alone. Surrender your burdens, trust in his provision, and walk forward with confidence, knowing that he who called you is faithful to sustain you. Heavenly Father, I come before you today, lifting up every person listening to this message, every man, every woman who carries the weight of provision for their family. Lord, you see their struggles, their silent prayers, and the burdens they carry. Many are weary, many feel overwhelmed, but you are their strength, their refuge, and their provider. Right now, in the mighty name of Jesus, I declare a breakthrough over their lives. Father, I pray that every chain of struggle be broken. Let every spirit of heaviness be lifted, and every financial burden be overturned. You are Jehovah Jireh, our provider, and I trust that you are already making a way where there seems to be no way. No attack of the enemy will prosper against them, for you are their shield and defender. Strengthen them, Lord, not just physically but emotionally and spiritually. Fill their hearts with peace and their minds with clarity. Let them know that they are not alone in this journey. Pour out supernatural provision, divine favor, and unexpected blessings over their lives. Open doors of opportunity, multiply the work of their hands, and guide them in wisdom as they steward their resources. Let them walk in victory, prosperity, and the fullness of their divine purpose. May they never forget that they are not just providing for their families. They are laying a foundation of faith, perseverance, and legacy. And Lord, I thank you for them. Thank you for their sacrifices, their love, and their dedication. May they feel seen, valued, and appreciated, not just by their families, but by you, the one who rewards those who trust in you. I declare over them today, they are chosen, they are covered, they are victorious. In Jesus' mighty name, Amen. If this word spoke to you, let's subscribe, share, and sow into this mission, because you are not just a breadwinner, you are a history maker. God bless you.